Good evening, viewers. This is your host, Humu. On our new segment tonight, I will be talking to one of our youth from Sierra Leone by the name of Francis, and also a singer, writer, actor, model, and youth leader, Noah Jenner. Welcome, Francis,
Welcome everybody.
and welcome, Noah.
Welcome. Hi, everybody.
Well, please, no, Francis, can you introduce yourself to the viewers so that they can get to know who you are?
My name is Francisco Uma from Sierra Leone, as you all know, and currently the National Scholarship Coordinator for the Organization of African Youth, and also currently starting my own startup project called Fantech, which I'm the CEO and founder of, and also I'm doing cinematographer as a side way, and also an event planner at the Hillsong Church as a volunteer.
Oh, well, you guys heard that he's very, very busy. He's not staying one moment without doing something. So I'm really we appreciate that because we want to have leaders that has a good work ethics so that they can be able to share with their kids once they get to that stage. And next to me now is Noah. Can you please introduce yourself for me to the viewers?
Hello, everybody. This is Noah Janae, known as J-Con. I am a Sierra Leonean artist. I'm an actor. I'm a filmmaker as well. And I'm also the president of the Sierra Leone National Youth Organization. And we're here to talk about youth affairs, if you don't mind.
Well, thank you. As for my viewers out there, we don't have an open call today, but you can actually ask questions. You can send your questions through our through the Facebook app, and we can answer you. And I just hope you guys help join us in this little discussion and try to give also your own opinion and input so we can be able to help our youth. Out there. We don't have viewers out there.
Sorry, ma'am.
Okay. No more phones. Put it blank.
Sure.
Thanks. Well, sorry. He's trying to share the page, the interview today. So I'm gonna go to right to Francis. You said you came here or through a program. I want you to tell my viewers what's the program about. How do you go about it for people in Sierra Leone?
I started last year in August. I applied for the Watson Institute at Denver, Colorado, and I got accepted for my project. So I came here purposely to attend Watson, but while I was coming, I had to defer my admission to the summer program, and so I'm mainly here in New York for the next 6 months, trying to meet network with investors and partners, and also meet with the companies that already have the machine that I'm trying to use to work on my project.
Oh, well, that's great. Um, it's a great thing, but I want to go into something for my viewers. I know you said you come here through a program. How does that work for you financially? Do you get to get sponsored by the government back home, or do you? How did you come and live here? Are you working? Do you get a work permit twice you're here waiting? How does that work?
Well, mainly, I don't have any work permit. I'm just here as a visitor. So I'm currently on the B1 or B2 visa, so I'm not allowed to work. So I'm only doing business meeting and also meeting with investors. So yeah, just day-to-day survival and all. Yep.
So financially, how is that for you?
Uh, it's kind of challenging, but yeah, that's life. You just have to overcome everything and all. Yeah, and keep going.
Okay. Well, viewers, let me turn to my left and see what Noah has to say about this kind of stuff.
Well, what I really want to say about this is that Sierra Leone has a lot of talents. Okay, talented students. Let me put it that way. These are young people that can compete anywhere in the world with anybody. Period. Um, I think it would be better if the government can get involved in programs like this, where they can choose certain students, you know, especially students who just did their O levels, and they're probably so smart, but it's just that they cannot afford college. But even if they can afford college, whatever. But if they are really smart, I think governments need to actually sponsor these kids, send them overseas to study, pay for everything, and then have them go back and go help their country because we already have brain drainage in Sierra Leone, basically. I think that's what the government needs to do. Um, then these kids in town can go back and help other kids, and teach them what they already learned. So at the end of the day, it's a win-win situation for Sierra Leone, and it will be a win-win situation for youths back home. You know.
Okay, well, that sounds good. That sounds good, but as we all know, the government is not doing anything when it comes to youth. They always say now youth needs to do something. They need to get out and work. They need to do this. They need to do that. But there is nothing the government is doing to actually implement or to make these kids know that okay, these people are for us. Because guess what? They are our future. The president or the government, whoever are ruling right now, all of them going to get old. They're going to pass away, and then we have the youth that is going to take control of all the situation, that the baggage that the country already comes with. So for them not to see talented people, because when a person is a genius, okay, when they come overseas, they're not only fighting for themselves or they're not only doing these things for themselves. It's the country name that is actually going all over the place, because they will not say, oh, it's just Francisco Roma. They will say Francisco Roma from Sierra Leone. So I really appreciate if the government pay closer attention or more attention to the youth down there and also over here, because people tend to focus. I know a lot of organizations tend to focus on back home, but there are other talented and intelligent and genius people out here, not only in America but overseas, that are struggling or have set their dream aside because they cannot afford to follow the dreams. They have to go to work. Like he said, he can't even go to work because he doesn't have a work permit. So how do they expect somebody like this to come here and not have a financial stability to focus on the dreams that actually brought him here? Anyways, my next question is going to go again to Francis. How did you manage to travel to New York?
Well, after I got my visa, I got my visa December, the beginning of December. So I had 2 months to do some fundraising for my ticket, because when you think about the let me say the flight ticket money, and think about your family, you be like, okay, this one I'm not gonna pay for it. But but the mindset is different. You understand? I always think I'm not. Let me say, for example, when it comes to traveling or doing things, or what I think I can be there is whatever it takes. I just know that I'm gonna be there. You understand? So from December, after I got the visa December 3rd, and then I was like, okay, this is December, let me just chill out. And then January I will start hustling for the money.
Okay.
So I write a couple of letters. I go to couple of ministries and couple of big people that I think they can support, but they're just turning you down, stories and all. And I was like, okay, I'm not gonna be frustrated because I already know what I'm up to and what I'm gonna do. So I did some couple of projects and some couple of stuff, and then I got $900, and then before coming, and then I look at the ticket price, because from Sierra Leone to New York is kind of expensive. So I just book it from Guinea, and then I flew to Guinea, and then come from Guinea to JFK.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, the struggle is definitely real on this one. Even though he was able to get called or sent and some Yale sent him an invitation to come over here, or the program sent him the invitation to come over here. The financial burden was still on him because he didn't have money to even buy a ticket. He has to hustle. As he says, it's the same thing that people always do. They always tell story when you go for help. And this matters are important thing. It's not like the person is saying, let me go to vacation, or I want to go do this, or I want to go open a business. And so they're trying to go somewhere where they know there is a lot of opportunities for them to make it happen. And then you still get let down. How do you feel about it, Noah? Because it's a touchy thing for me. So,
Well, how do I feel about it? I I don't know how to put this. It's disappointing. Okay, let's put it this way. Okay, in the United States, there are so many students that would love to go to Yale University or any kind of Yale University sponsored programs, because Yale University is one of the best schools in this country. Period. Okay. Now we have a brother from Sierra Leone, and he's so talented, extremely smart, very intelligent. Now get this letter from Yale University to actually come to school here. This brother had to struggle. Yeah, some kind of Yale program, right?
Summer program, yeah.
Summer program. Sorry, let me just be specific. This brother got the visa to come here to further his studies, right? People like this, okay, he went to a lot of people to look for help, okay, and these people could not help him for whatever reason. I have no idea. Personally, if that was me, I would do whatever it takes to make sure he comes over here and further his studies. But then everybody he went to, they just kind of like tell him a bunch of stories of whatever that is. But anyway, he managed to get that money, went through Guinea. He had to fly from Guinea to here. I mean, that alone is a very disappointing thing for us as Sierra Leoneans. So I really feel bad about it. I think the government needs to do more. I mean, for students like this one here, there's so much the government can do. You know, it's an investment. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
It's a win-win situation for Sierra Leone and for the government and for Sierra Leone, because these are the future leaders of our country. You know what I mean? They are the future leaders. So that's how I feel about it personally, to be honest.
Yeah, it's a sad scenario actually, and I know there's a lot more of those scenarios happening in our country.
What can be done here?
So, that's the question.
Yeah.
What can be done here? That's the same thing I said. We have a lot of organizations rushing to go back home and help, but there is need right here in our community, in this country. There are people out here. If he wasn't as strong as he is, that person that he went to, or the people he went to, would have killed his dream right there. He would have just given up and say, you know what, this is too much, I can't do it. And he would have just given up. He's still struggling, but he still didn't give up. And I want to know, I know there's a lot of us that have backgrounds in our life where it wasn't all perfect, and that makes us even stronger. So I want to know, what's your background, your life before this?
I'm gonna start with the first program I went to that changed my mindset, and that gave me the, let me say, the spirit and the mindset to just continue pushing. You understand? Like 2016, 2017, I heard about a summer program called Young African Scholars Program. It's like it's organized for African students out there, and they only select like 300 students from across Africa every year to meet in one like 3 different countries. When they select you, so you can be in one of those countries, and then you can meet with some of your peers from across the continent that are doing well. And so I got selected for this program, and then I went, and that time I was the only Sierra Leonean at that time, 2017. And then we spent like 7 days, but the 7 days we spent, it was like a year. The thing we learned, because like I got to know about college and education system, how to apply and all. So, and about liberal arts schools in the United States, and we got taught a lot of stuff, and that was all done by Yale students and some of Yale faculties and all. So everything started from there. So when I got back to Sierra Leone 2017. Like I always love doing my own stuff. You understand? Like I got back and then I started pushing. I came in contact with my one of my coworker Abdul Kaloko, who is currently the National Scholarship in the council representative for Organization of African Youth. So we started pushing, and then he appointed me as the national scholarship coordinator, and then we started working, and then I was serving as working with students, sharing this opportunity, and then and then I applied for the one in the US 2018.
Okay.
And then luckily I was the only civilian at that time to come to Yale for the first time.
How was that for you? I know, because it's something that even people here dreams about going to Yale or Harvard. So how was that for you to get that to get the
let me say something more interesting about White now. I'm not talking about what happened 2018. Okay, so the most interesting thing that I feel like I have accomplished something is right now as I'm talking to you, I have like 60 to 80% chance of being accepted to Yale, but like I have a close communication with the international admission officer, but he's like Yale is for A student. You understand? So like,
yeah, you better bring your A game all the way.
And then I sent all of my grades and my scores, and then, but I know I'm a B and a C student because I don't invest all of my time in only education and all, because it's just like when you invest in 5 senses one side,
the rest of the senses somewhere.
We have most of them out there in Sierra Leone. Like most of my friends, they tend to invest all of their time reading books or doing other things instead of dividing your attention. You understand? Like the more you give yourself time to explore what you can do and focus on your purpose, it's much more okay than spending all of your time in school per se. And then because like for me, since I was in GSS1 when I was going to Prince of Wales, I never think about going to FBC. That was not my dream. I said if I'm going to go to FBC, if FBC is the only institution, then I'm not going to go to college. I'm going to do my own startup and stuff. So that was my mindset. And at that time, I never knew about how to apply to colleges in the US and all. So the journey is very long, and then I'm still going. And then it's like a month now left for me to at least achieve the dream that maybe I can feel proud of, not what people are feeling proud of now. Because like most of the times when I achieve something, I don't see what I'm not seeing what people are seeing. You understand?
True that.
Class it as a big thing, but me it's just like, hey, I can lose the brake, but I never lose the speed. So I'm just going.
Okay.
You understand? So that's the main thing. Yeah. So I went to Yale 2018, and that was one of the most memorable moments for me because I had to spend my birthday here. They surprised me, one of the most crazy thing. Like they made my birthday for me there July 10, 2018, at the Yale Dining Hall, one of the award-winning dining hall in the US. So I never knew they know about my birthday, and the morning I came in, I just saw everybody started saying, "Hey, happy birthday, Francis!" Because they sent an email update to everybody. So as soon as I went to the dining hall, everybody was like, they wait for everyone to grab his food, and then we sat down and all, and then they say, "Oh, we have my baby, the woman that let me say that introduced me was like, my baby's birthday is today," and I was like, "Oh, who is this person?" So and
then it was you.
And then it was me, and then they say, "Francis, can you just stand up and all?" And it was really a life-changing moment for me, and I got to work on this project during my time at Yale. The 2 weeks, we spent only 2 weeks, but during the 2 weeks they gave us we met in the evening. We had like a capstone project wherein they gave us like a 3D printing construction. It's a new modern technology wherein you can use a concrete printer that can build houses in less than 48 hours.
Wow.
Wow. You understand? So like they gave us this solution. They let us find a problem, and then everybody is from different part of the world, and some of my friends are from Mexico and Argentina, and then they were like, they thought I didn't know what to do, or so I was just like sitting watching them all the time. And then they say, Francis, what can you put on the tables? And then the other day I came down and then I sat and I was like, okay, now let us think. And then I said, okay, now let's focus this problem in Africa. And then let's talk about water scarcity. And then water scarcity is one of the major problems. Like, you can get water, but where to store them or access to safe drinking water is a problem.
Yeah, true that.
So like, we not only do the case study for Sierra Leone per se, but like Africa in general. You understand? So like, but I'm gonna start it in Sierra Leone. So after the program, we did the presentation at Yale, Styling Memorial Library, and everybody was super excited about the project. And then it was just a capstone project, and you can just throw it away or forget about it. Or like when I came back, I was like, okay, this one I'm gonna push it, because I always think about starting my own company. I don't want like after finishing school and then go to work for someone.
But
yes,
like
you understand?
Yeah,
that's my own concept. I like doing my own thing. I don't like the main thing. I never wait for someone to come and advise me.
Yeah.
And like growing up with your grandma, you can do whatever you want to do, and then you got your own good or bad advice for yourself. You understand?
Right.
Grandma spell child all the time, so I have the free opportunity to work on myself. And most of the time, I love living with people. So my family is in Freetown, but here I only go visit them like once a month or so, because like sometimes I only think about okay, my father is gone. And then my mother is the only one with some like 5 or 6 siblings. And then me, I remember spending like 2 weeks with them, and I was like, every day when we wake up in the morning, everybody's like, what next?
Nobody knows what to do. They're just sitting around and waiting
everybody's just waiting for, at least you're gonna eat 12 o'clock in the afternoon after they finish preparing food. And then in the evening you're like, okay, everything is finished, one meal per day.
Wow. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So like I decided to move out, and then I said I'm gonna stay with my grandma in the town. So I started doing my own thing, pushing for myself, going started using computer science and computer. And one of the greatest gratitude I can give is and the last time, I think 2 weeks ago, I posted on my Facebook page, I say, God bless the internet application perseverance. It's some kind of word. I say if it was not this stuff, like most of our dreams are still inactive. You understand? Because because like if you're saying you're going to wait until when you see the WAS and then go to FBC or IPAM, and then after you got your degree, you ask yourself what next.
Because there's
like you're still in the line waiting. Everybody's still in the line, and you're like, okay, but like I had to move out of my comfort zone to do my own thing.
Push yourself.
I don't think I don't care about what my friends are saying. You understand?
No.
Like when I was growing up, like when I was going to Prince of Wales, when I got to SSS1, you have a lot of students that dedicate all of their time reading, and these are the A students. You understand? And then I am kind of like the B and C student.
So you gotta find where you're gonna fit. You gotta find where you're gonna fit.
So like when I was in JSS, I was a little bit playful, but I was doing good, like 80, 90, you understand? But when I get to SSS1, and then I went for the Yale program, and then come back, I was like, I don't have to spend all my time reading. You understand? I have to perform well from all my academics, but like I don't have to spend all my time.
Yeah, there's a lot of things else out there.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of passionate about computer science and stuff. So I spent most of my time in the internet cafe, and like from 2017 to 2018, I had a couple of friends. Let me say from 2015. This is a kind of interesting story. So I was staying around Victoria State, Louis Street area, around St. John, and then I had a older friend of mine. His name is Victor. He's currently in Ghana. And then some of my younger friends that we used to hang around every day. So everybody was so curious to join Facebook and all. Never use the internet or the laptop or for the first time. So, and then we forced him to say, hey, Victor, can you take us to the internet cafe, and then so we can join us Facebook. Everybody wants to join Facebook 2012. So he said, okay, I'm going to go with you guys to the internet cafe. And then we went there at Adelaide Street. And then he just signed up. He just opened the account for and then leave everything.
So you guys have to
Yes,
figure it
like
out.
every day.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
yeah.
every day you have to spend like 30 minutes, which is like 3,000 leons every day to go and do your own stuff. Come to
Right.
Facebook and also like I keep on doing this thing. I keep on doing this thing. So like at that time I don't know how to use computer. So whenever every day I spend like 2 hours. That at that time it was like 6,000, 7,000. So imagine leaving your home, going back, and then most of my friends give up, and then they were like,
I
I'm not
can't.
gonna
I
go
don't want
there."
no more
Yeah.
Facebook. I can deal with it.
Yeah, so like I keep going. So whenever they see me in Benin at the Leicester police station, they will start shouting, "You like cafe?" You know.
Yeah,
that-
but
it's
I
kinda-
mean,
yeah,
you're right. You're right.
It's
It
kind of
started.
interesting. You understand that where everything started. Now, most of them are like, "Man, congratulations, man! You're in the UN. Congratulations! You keep pushing. You keep pushing." I'm like, I'm not seeing what you're seeing. I'm still good.
I'm still trying.
good.
I'm still trying.
I'm still good.
Well, you
yeah.
gotta. Well, I always say you gotta start some in life. You gotta start somewhere. Nothing. I was not a big social media person either. When Facebook started, all I did was look for friends that I haven't seen for years,
Yeah.
and I don't say nothing. I don't write nothing, and then maybe I would just post a picture or two. I never did like a live video. I started doing live video seriously last year. Imagine I've been in the States for years. And I've been overseas for years, but I wasn't a person that was focused on certain things. I always know I had a business mind where I want to do my own thing. I don't want to work for somebody for the rest of my life. So you have an entrepreneurship mindset. And that's what a lot of people going to school. I always say people should go to school because it's the basics of whatever you want to do in life. Okay, I can say I was a student. Sorry, we were the nerds. So we were the nerds because anyone that knows me, even in Germany and everywhere I've been, I'm a student. Even when I went to college last year, I was on the president list, and you have to have A+. So, but I'm a very multitask person. I can be on the phone right now, and I'll be studying, and I'll be doing everything at the same time. I can cook, clean, do everything at the same time. That's how I've lived my life because I grew up with a dad that was very strict. I learned how to cook at my dad's house because imagine I was 10 and I cooked because it was me and my cousin. So I cook 1 week, my cousin cook 1 week. And my dad is a cleansing person, and we call it cleansing. People that like to clean a lot. You have to the toilet seat, your face should be looking at you when you look at it. That's how my dad was. And I didn't appreciate it at that time, but now I appreciate it. I can do literally everything that a man can do because my dad taught me to be how do you call the word? Exactly. Thank you. Self-sufficient. So I can build a table. You can give me the whole damn thing. That's my stress reliever is building things. I do everything in my house. I did myself because my dad gave me those things. He's instilled those things in me and made me who I am today. And that's the same thing with you. Whatever your family or whatever your background instilled in you, it's a learning process. They're seeing things that you're not seeing because they're still in the same position they were when you left.
Quick question for Francis.
What's your phone?
I know how you say you don't necessarily listen to what other people say. Like you have your own sense of direction. Do you consider yourself as a stubborn boy or an adventurer?
No, like what I'm saying is I'm not a stubborn
It's okay
boy.
to say you're stubborn. Okay? There's nothing wrong
There's
with
nothing
that.
wrong with it.
You live in
I'm
a
not a
world where you
stubborn
have to
boy.
be stubborn sometimes.
No, like I'm not a stubborn boy, but like I'm kind of perseverance. Like I'm very
You're
persistent.
persistent.
Yeah.
Yes, in doing something. And related to what you are saying is like I don't wait for people to come and advise me because I don't always go and seek advice because whenever someone advises me, I'm always scared.
True.
Like if you advise me like, hey Francis, don't go there, I will be like, I'm not going there for this moment.
Yeah.
You
But I wanna
Because-
go-
Yeah, but I wanna go there.
Yeah.
But
I
like
what you
most
mean.
of the stuff I'm doing, like I learn for myself because your salvation is yourself.
Exactly.
True that.
Yeah. So if like let me say for example, most of my friends or most of the people they are waiting for someone to come and motivate them to do something.
Yeah.
And now this is not the point. If I can inspire you, cool. But they wait for someone to come and motivate
You
you
have
to
to
do
be
what you can do. But like
self-motivated.
Right.
if you have your own purpose and have what you like what you want to do or what you want where you up to or if you know where you're going, even if you lost the brake, you can still
Right.
go lost
Right.
the speed.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Because some people, for me, sometimes I say people are lazy, in the sense that they are waiting for something to push them. I think everybody in life has to be motivated in some kind of way, because I always say if you believe in God and you have faith, God give everybody something. Didn't make no mistakes on anybody.
Everybody has.
Yes,
talent.
you have a talent. So try to find your talent. Find the purpose you're here for. If you can't find your purpose, then you're gonna be lost in life. You're gonna be just living in whatever else somebody else is telling you. I don't like people to tell me what to do. I really get like offensive, and I will shut down. And when anybody tell me don't go there, that's where I want to go, because I want to know why he doesn't want me to go there, or why she doesn't want me to go there. So I'm gonna take that road. How does
Right.
that work for you?
Well, for me, it's a little bit of each of you, basically. I am actually a very, very, very stubborn person, but not in a bad way. You know, I'm a really stubborn person, but not in a bad way. Over the years, I have learned that there are two types of advices. It's either bad or it's good advice. I love to listen to people when they advise me, because you can take a little from everybody. You know, we always say, you know, there are two ways to know yourself, okay? One is what you know about yourself. The second thing is what people see in you that you don't even know about. Because sometimes we tend to be introverts. So the only thing we know is what we think, what we feel, what we think is right, what we think is wrong, right? So it kind of limits us to certain point. But if you really want, for me personally, I believe that sometimes I like to listen to people. So what I do is I take that information and analyze them. Whatever advice someone, you know, gives me, I will take that advice and analyze it. The ones that I need, that I know will benefit me, I use them. The ones that I know I don't need, I throw them out the door. You know what I mean, right? So yeah, I believe that sometimes you have to be receptive to advice, criticism, especially criticism.
Constructive.
Yeah,
And
you know.
like also what I want to say, you know, like what if you're in a certain position where someone is advising about something, but the person is not see what you're seeing?
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
how do you feel? Like,
Okay. Okay. In that case, in that case,
so you in your own point of view,
Yeah.
what you're doing, you know, everything is covered, but
I know what you mean. And for me, the way I'll deal with that, I won't even argue. But I'll listen just for courtesy's sake. You know,
And keep
because
it
maybe the
pushing.
person meant well. You know, some people, they'll look at you, they said, okay, let me give you some advice. You know, I'll listen. But guess what? I'll listen, and then I'll go and do what I want to do.
Yep.
You get my point? So I always say, I'll just listen just for the heck of it. But at the end of the day, your decision is you. You make your own decisions.
Nico, when you
It doesn't
fail,
matter what kind of advice people give you. At the end of the day, you have to make that decision that, okay, I'll follow this advice or I'll follow that advice. Like I said, take what works for you. The rest, throw it away. Simple as that.
yeah, it is.
Because there is some truth in everything people say. You know what I'm saying? There's something you can use.
Not
You know,
everybody. Though.
yeah, if you're just willing to listen.
Okay.
You know, so that's
I'll-
just me.
Well, I will say, don't listen to everyone, because the haters are real. And let me tell you something. Because some people advise you because they already see what will happen to you in the future. They might not want that for you because they want it, but they don't know how to go about it to get it. So they will try to stomp on you so that you can sit right back there. It's just something that I watch. I watched a short thing. A Nigerian lady, two friends were both married, and then the one will come to the other one's house and will always say, "Oh, your husband is doing this. He's cheating. You need to leave him. Don't trust him," and blah blah blah. And guess what happened? She listened to the friend and left the husband. And then when she went to go to the friend, "Oh, I was giving you advice, but I didn't tell you to take it. I'm doing what I want in my relationship."
Well, you know what? To be honest, the friend is right. Like I said earlier, it's okay to listen, but the decision ultimately falls on you.
Yep.
You can listen. And also, there's a reason why we all have intellect, because we use our intellect to decipher what's good or bad for us. You should be able to know what's good and bad for you. So even if somebody gives me advice, I already have a pathway, just like you. You already had a pathway set, and that pathway is to achieve that dream, no matter what they say. Like you said, they used to tell you, well, you don't talk cafe, boy, now I'll tell you not cafe. You know, like I said.
Yeah.
But you know why you were going there. So see where it leads you, because you set your own path. You know, you didn't allow people to actually set your path for you. You said it. That's why you were very adamant. You were very stubborn. So I don't care if when I call me cafe guy or whatever, but I know what I'm looking at. I got my eyes on the ball. You know, so life comes down to decisions, actually. We make that ultimate decisions. You know, like I said, 90% of life falls on you.
Yeah.
Maybe 10% falls on other people that opens a path for you. Either maybe they open the door for you to achieve your dreams, or they help you achieve their dreams. I mean, those dreams. But the most important thing is, it's your decision to want to help yourself. And that's what you did. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You made that decision.
And then the other thing is like, I'm always happy because I'm not from a rich family.
I like that. You're content.
Yeah, you know, you know the reason why there's a difference between someone that is brought up by a rich family and then someone that is brought up by a poor family. If you're brought up by a rich family, like your life is always on a regular basis. Everything is like, you know, you're moving. You know everything is. But when you're when you're brought up by a poor family or you understand, or from a poor background, you know what you're up to. You understand.
You're motivated by
that. You understand, like you always think you had a lot of responsibility or something to take care of. But like in some of let me say some of the kids that brought up from a rich family, you can look at them in real life situation currently right now. Most of the people that you can see in most of the big places, most of them are brought up from a poor background because it's a point of motivation. If that alone cannot motivate you, if you're looking for someone to motivate you, then I think
right. Your situation should be your motivation.
Yeah,
right?
It's like, I just like rich and kids, they don't respect things because they know it's already theirs. Whilst the ones that struggle with it, they respect it when they get to that point where they said, okay, I own all this stuff. They tend to respect it. And I always said your struggles makes you who you are today. Like everyone here, me, whatever I've been through in life has made me the woman I am today. I was a very quiet person, but things that I went through changed my views, and I started saying I need to say something. That's how I become who I am today. If I was still that person and I didn't went through those struggles, I won't be here. I'll be in a different path.
So good question for all of you guys. Would you rather be born poor or rich?
I'll start with you.
You start first because
you know, like technically I would be prefer to be born poor, and then it's better to be poor in the beginning than to be poor in the ending. You understand? Okay. If you can start up from a poor background, but like you have the basic necessity you need to live, it's more preferable than living the luxurious life in the beginning and then in the end you decided wanting bankrupt or so. Yeah.
So you are assuming like if you are born poor, you're gonna die rich.
There's a tendency. There's a tendency, like if you have a purpose.
Okay. Well, for me, either or. For me, I think it's the way you're brought up. Whatever it was instilled in your life. For me. Oh, okay. Well, I will say excuse me. I want to be rich. Okay. Let me say I had a very good. Comfortable life.
Yeah.
Even when and even when I live in Germany, I won't say I was rich, but I was good. I didn't have to like look up or think for not. But what my dad instilled in me, you know what my dad did? When everybody was choosing colleges, my dad, because he was the one that did all that for me. You know what he did for me to learn certain things in life? Instead of choosing a college that was next to our place, he chose one that was like over an hour away. He wanted me to wake up 5 o'clock in the morning, feel how it is to become an adult, do everything that I'm supposed to do, and he also made me go to work. Certain things. When I wanted to do my internship, I went to his job because he's an electrical engineer. I went there and I did my internship with him. So I had to get up. He said, I want you to know how it feels, because just because you have it doesn't mean it's yours.
Yeah.
You have to have some kind of a upbringing. You have to have some kind of a, I don't know how they call it, like a line that somebody has to be instilled in you so that you know how it is. The work ethics. Because some people that are rich, they do whatever they want because their parent doesn't care. But when your parent care, and also for Creole, it's different. We do everything at home. There's no, okay, the help is going to do this. No. We did it. I did laundry when I was a kid. I helped my sister put on clothes. I helped my mom fetch water and do all those stuff. I didn't have to do it. We had a maid, but my mom made sure yes, I went through it all.
Okay, like back to your point, the reason why I say more preferable to be born poor and then you can know where you're going is because, like, whenever you're in a certain type of situation where you need this money, you understand? Like, I need, okay, let me say, for example, I need $1,000 to travel to Germany next week, and then it's something I want to go and achieve, and then I don't have this money, and then and then you have the money, your family, both of us, we are friends, and then the next day, the day you go your visa, your family bought your ticket, and I'm like, okay, I'm cool because I want the same. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna be inspired by working hard to one day be that kind of person, you understand, that can like take care of all the bills instead of being rich.
I know what you mean.
I understand what you mean, but for me, that's why I said it's always your parents, because we has to do some jobs, house chores, and we get paid. We have to work. My dad doesn't say, okay, because you're supposed to get this amount of lunch money every month, I'm just gonna give it to you. No, we worked. I made sure I did everything in the house. My dad didn't do nothing. He was the king of the house. Right. But we have to do everything, but we get paid. Right. The money is there, but it's like a job. So it depends on the household that you come from. Yeah. Amja, what do you think? Because you have 3 kids. So how 3 women?
There's no one answer, like one answer fits all. You can born poor and have no motivation.
Yeah.
And remain poor for the rest of your life. You can born rich and be rich forever. So motivation doesn't necessarily depend on where you are born or how you were born. It depends on the individual instinct.
Right. For me, I kind of see it probably similar to what Amjad just said. For me, it's not more so. It's true that money makes life easy for everybody. That's just a given. Nobody can argue with that. Okay, but also money can also be a catalyst for being non-motivated to achieve anything, because most people want to be successful to make money. So for some people that already have the money, like you were born in a rich family, they would just say, well, I have it anyway, so why bother? Not all of them says that. Most have that mentality wherein they take a lot of things for granted.
True.
Because it's readily available
To them, yeah.
Now, for a poor kid, they, like what Amjad said, you can still be poor and still not be motivated to succeed in life.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're lazy poor people as much as they are lazy rich people. You know, like they're lazy, there's non-motivated poor people as much as there are non-motivated rich people. So the way I see it, it comes down to character. Period. I have seen rich kids that behave a lot better than kids from poor homes. I'll be honest. I've experienced that. I have different types of friends: poor, rich, middle class, and I have seen rich kids that are much more motivated to help society than some poor kids. Matter of fact, some poor kids can even say, "I don't care. It's not my problem.
Yeah.
I have too much problem to think about. So let them try it." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't have to deal with that. So for me, it comes down to character. Very, very important in life is the character that you have. For me, character is what builds you. Somebody can take $1 million and put it in your hand and say, here, let's see what you will do with it. You can still go and waste it.
Yeah.
But character can guide you and say, okay, you know what? Let me take a step back. Take a breather,
There's a question.
you know.
No,
What am I going to do with this money? You know. So like for you, you may have, come from a poor background, but you're motivated. What motivates you is your condition, basically. You know what I'm saying? And you look at these things but naturally you're talented, you're smart, you're intelligent, and you use that, you know what I'm saying, that intelligence and say, you know what, I'm going to better myself. And you keep pushing. You still, even though internet is a problem in Sierra Leone, I just want to say this so everybody can listen. Because of this lack of better internet system in Sierra Leone, there's a lot of talented and intelligent and smart young people like my brother here. But because of the lack of proper internet services, he had to struggle to get to where he is. So imagine if we have internet in Sierra Leone that works the same way that internet works for people over here, in America or in the West. Imagine what that would do for a lot of, young people like our brother here.
And then, based on what you're saying, it's not merely the internet is the issues. Like, but most of the most important thing is the way how you use the internet. You understand, like what you're up to, like where you spend your time. You understand, because like you have WhatsApp, you have a lot of distractions and Facebook and all.
Right.
I do use WhatsApp and Facebook like every day, but like I know what I'm up to, because like every day, like I said, I just want to do something.
I know what you
understand?
mean.
Yeah, like there's tons of application. I know what I can do, so like
Right.
I just keep on applying for stuff, and then it's kind of frustrating.
Well, yeah, because you're motivated. Your mindset is different. Like Amjad said, you can still be poor or from a poor background, but you're still not motivated to want to prosper in life. You have this lethargic way of looking at things. You're much more relaxed. It's like you're content with your situation. And that's what's going on in Sierra Leone right now. Some people things are so hard that they become so used to it, it's nothing now. Like, they don't care anymore. You get me right? They wake up in the morning, the only thing they care about is what am I going to eat today? They don't push themselves to say, okay, maybe if I try to achieve something better, that will change my situation. Just to get something to eat each day cannot change one situation. What changes one situation is the ability to use your talent and do right by yourself and go out there and say, I want to be this, I want to do that. I'm not going to just get stuck here. The only problem with Sierra Leone is that there's not much opportunity there. You know what I mean? Like me, I wasn't from a rich family, but we were okay. We were okay in a sense where our parents were able to provide for us, but we wasn't rich. But guess what? We were motivated.
Yeah.
Like for me, since I was a kid, I was a renegade. When I say a renegade, I was stubborn. Like I said, I don't listen to nobody. When I was attending the Albert Academy, we were responsible for organizing student strike. I've been an activist since I was young. I'm talking about the police going to my house looking for me. In those days we had the CID. You remember the CID, right? Yeah. They used to go and look, that's who I am, and I'm still that same kind of person. I'm an activist, basically. I don't like to see injustice being done to, the people that are at the bottom, and also the people at the top. Injustice should not be done to anybody, period. Whether you're rich or poor, So, like I said, to achieve things in life, it all comes down to character.
Yes, but the character you build your character through your parents, through whoever give birth to your family circle.
Of course.
So that's why I said all this comes as well. But when you're born, you don't know who you are. Your parents instill things in you every time, so you're building character.
Right.
And not even your parents, whoever was part of your life.
Yeah.
Well, of course.
That's why I said this all comes back to parenting, back to where you grow up from, because you might have this I know some children, like when we say, I was talking to one of my friends, she's a doctor. It's really hard to see a lot of doctors because it's not in the family. You will see one person become a doctor but there is nobody else there. It's because that person was determined and wanting to change their path. But when you grow up with parents that instill certain things in you, they said don't teach old dog new tricks. You have to teach them when they're young because it stays with them.
You're right.
Yeah,
You're right.
and you get all those things gives you plus what God also give you.
Yeah.
What your parents helps you and what also God gave you as a person.
Yeah.
That makes you who you are and gives you that strength, because there are rich people that are rude and then you have rich people that are so well trained, they're well behaved, they're trying to exceed what their parents did. Then you have someone, they were like, the money's there, they'll be doing all kind of things. And then you have poor people that don't want to do nothing because they didn't when they were born, they didn't meet their people doing anything. They were all sitting there turning the thumbs and waiting for the next thing to happen. And then you meet some other people, even though their parents didn't have that much, but their parents were waking up in the morning selling fry for those of you that come from Sierra Leone. They were selling cookery, they were selling little rice here, little things here. All those things is entrepreneurship, just in a little form. So they see all those things from their parents as well. So
well, I'll put it this way. The parent has a role to play in a child's life. The environment has a role to play in a child's life. Like you said, to build character takes different types of things, okay? But at the same time, the choice of a character, you can be exposed to all those things. The choice of the character itself comes down to the individual. Yeah. I have seen friends whose parents were so strict. Their parents did everything possible to make sure they set the path for them.
Yeah.
But they make their own choices when they are adults. And they still went ahead and make wrong choices.
True that. That's definitely true.
You get me?
Yeah, that's definitely true.
You can expose people to whatever you want to expose them. That can actually influence their life in some ways. But at the end of the day, it comes down to them. Yeah. Individually, you make your own decisions. Nobody makes it for you. You get me? You have to look at life and say, okay, this is good for me, that is bad for me. Okay. Your parents can go so much, they can do so much, they can go that far. But at the end of the day, you, the individual, you are the one who's responsible for your own self.
Okay, well, one of the viewers said, the spiritual element really keeps one in check. Your faith holds you accountable to your true actions.
Actually, you're right about that. I'll tell you why. You're right in some sense. At the same time, you are wrong in some sense. Sorry to say that to our viewers out there. But I'll explain to you why I say that. Spirituality is not the only catalyst in life that guides people. I know people who have some form of spirituality. They're part of maybe a Christian religion or Muslim.
Trump is Catholic?
I think so. Yeah. So you can still
you can want to go there with me right now. you can, yeah. Oh Lord,
you can still identify.
He's the Antichrist, honey.
You can still identify with a certain religion, but also your character can be bad still. So when it comes to spirituality, it plays different roles in your life. You can be a Muslim, you can be a Christian, but you still have a bad character. You can go to church all the time, probably more than everybody else. You can go to the mosque every Friday.
They hide under your religion.
But still your character does not live up to that expectation of that spirituality or whatever spiritual life or religion you belong to. Like I said, character is built by the person. You get me? Somebody will never go to church. They will never go to the mosque. They might not even believe in God. But I'll tell you this, their character is so good. They are honest. They are very nice to people. They are very lenient. They are very courteous. But that has nothing to do with their spiritual. But you're right, spirituality can guide people into...
It can help.
Yeah, it can help. But it still comes down to you, the individual, who you are as a person. That's what shines through.
Especially when you have a lot of religious leaders that
exactly.
You think about the child abuses.
Right.
These are people who are supposed to be the ambassadors of
spirituality. Yeah.
Right.
Confused. Get people confused.
Yeah, that comes down to what I said. Like what Amjad said, We have a lot of spiritual people. Matter of fact, they are the head of the spiritual people all over the world. And they're still abusing kids. They're still abusing kids. Sexually abusing kids. So that is why I said spirituality is only important when you actually live your life according to those spiritual values.
Yeah.
You can go around and tell people that you are a Christian all you want. You can go around and tell people that you're Muslim all you want. It all comes down to your character. What you do, how you treat people. Yeah, go on. You wanted to say something.
Oh yeah, I want to say something. Like one of my favorite music is from Jay-Z and Alicia Keys. Empire of State. And one of Jay-Z line is there like life start when the church end. And it's like
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
That's
so
true.
like you always do what you decide. You understand?
Yeah.
Like you learn from yourself,
Basically.
That's what you have. I always think that you have to have a leadership mind.
Right.
You don't want to follow, because follow is what get people into a lot of trouble. Because like those, let's say for those people that are doing crazy pastors and you following them everywhere.
Right.
When you go to, I always say when you die and you go to heaven, you think God is going to say, okay, you were just blindsided because the pastor was, no, it's going to be you. So that's why I said it's always good to have some kind of education on what kind of religion you're following.
Right.
You
have to
go
know.
there, you
You don't
read
be a
your
blind
Bible
follower.
or read your Quran and know all those things and be a leader for yourself. Don't tend to give in to people's whatever else they're saying, because they can say whatever it takes
They
for
can
you to,
even misinterpret.
and that's what they do.
scriptures, of
But
course, yeah.
lot of pastors, lot of whatever, they misinterpret the Bible. They choose lines that they use, and they forgot to read the whole damn chapter of that damn verse, so you can understand exactly why that sentence was said. So people tend to just they don't go to read the Bible. They let these people lead them to mysterious places, and they're following because they're all too lazy.
Well, that comes back down to youth. When youth don't have nothing to do, when the government, sometimes, recently I've been watching Facebook, because I'm part of a lot of forums. I hate to say this, but I hate when people say youths are idle in Sierra Leone. They need to stop saying that, okay? They're idle because pretty much there is nothing to do, okay? I hate when people say the government is now responsible for people. I hate when people say that. Government is responsible for the people, okay? Because there's one reason for that, okay? The country has its resources. The people themselves cannot, they cannot facilitate that resources to work for them. That's why they hire government to do that for them. And what government needs to do is to maintain and to manage that resources so that it can provide for its citizens in different ways. You can build good roads, infrastructure. You can, give them healthcare, good healthcare through that resources. Okay? You can open opportunities by creating jobs. Okay, another thing I hate when people say, especially when they are referring to poor people, oh, you're lazy, go look for a job. Did you provide a job for them? If you did not provide a job for poor people, don't tell them go look for a job. Okay? Maybe try to let them know, okay, well, maybe I can help you get something. But if you're not going to do that, do not tell people to go look for a job that's not there.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So with youths in Sierra Leone, they get engaged in political rancor, political fights, and that's happening because there's nothing for them to do. And these politicians use these youths, to go fight for them while they sleep at home, in their nice beds, their kids are in school, they don't worry. And then the same young youths go back home and go eat gari.
Yeah.
Or maybe just drink water. You know what I mean? So the government is responsible to the people. There's a lot of ways government can help people. They're not saying you should make everybody rich, but create opportunity.
Okay.
Through education, through trade, trade schools. And then somebody once told me that it's only the privatization that can create jobs. Yeah, it's right. You're right. But guess what? The government can also create jobs for people. You invest in the people. During the Great Depression in the United States, when all the corporations closed down companies and they don't want to hire nobody, guess who started creating jobs for the people? It was the government. They started building roads, the iron factories, and they started, open industries. It creates a whole new industry. The government of Sierra Leone can do that for the youths.
Yeah.
So that when they leave college, they come, there will be jobs for them to do. So that they can land trade. When the land does trade, there will be things for them to do. Open industries. The government has the money to do that. Mm-hmm. You can create, if one person can create a business, an entrepreneur can create a business, what makes you think the government cannot do the same thing? Run the country as a business. You can create jobs and invest in the people, and those same people will buy those products. And then you can have money circulating around, and that can help the economy.
I think the other problem with the government is also
Then more than that.
They can start something.
Yeah.
Never finish.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Create opportunity.
It's difficult.
Yeah.
That's where I want to jump in, because when people say there's no opportunity, I don't think that's true.
Exactly.
Because there are. But the problem is we have those old men sitting in some office 50,000 years. They don't want to leave it for the new ones.
Right.
They don't teach new people.
Right.
And then the problem is also with the political parties, APC. When APC come, they will clear everybody, and the only people they will put in, whether they're qualified or not, is their people.
Right.
And then they will take out the SLPP, and then when SLPP come back in, they take out all. They don't care. They keep giving people. They keep giving people like names, honorable this, persist and that. It's just the title is everywhere. I'm the secretary of this and that. You don't hear that anywhere. I watched a video where they were about the protest, when they were protesting, and one of the person that stand up to ask a question, before he started asking, I'm the secretary general of the this, and I don't want to know what you are doing. Ask your questions so people can get answers. There are opportunities there if they will let the young people do what they're supposed to do, or teach new people. Just like here, when you're in college, you go for internship. It's all the people that are teaching you, or people that have been there for a long time, that are teaching you the job. And they don't go, but they're not biased. They don't look at your Kuroma or your whatever Mende name is. They don't look at all those things, and they don't go by families and my families needs to get, and the government gets so much money in foundation, like from the foundation and all this stuff. They get so much money to help the country, but the money doesn't go to the country.
Of course,
it goes to everybody. Every sector is collecting some kind of money for something that they're supposed to do, and they don't do it. And then they expect the youth to be just, okay, no worry, we're gonna see that. And you wonder why people steal. They need something to eat. You wonder where their hand rob with. They need to feed families. There's a lot of people out there, and also people tend to be the competition, it's unreal. If one person is selling kukui in this junction, why do 10 others have to make kukuis in that same junction? What difference is that going to do?
I think I know the reason why.
It doesn't make sense, because at the end of the day, none of you will be making money.
I know the reason for that. Okay, I think I know the reason why. You remember you said something about education, right? Business, there is a skill. There's a science to business. Okay, not everybody is that good at business. Okay, most of those people, they don't understand that before you even start a business, you have to do a pilot survey, which includes you go to a certain area.
You're talking about people in Salon King Jimmy Market.
Yeah,
they don't even.
Right.
Hold on. Where are they going to stay?
No, the reason why I say that, I'm just trying to give reasons why.
Exactly. They don't have because a lot of them that are selling most of them have never been to school.
Right.
Okay, they might do it traditionally in their own way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I'm just saying that in retrospect. Yeah, I'm just saying that in retrospect, just to make a point. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying is that those people, for them, they say, okay, here's this junction. That's where I'm just going to go put my cookery pot. Okay? And sell cookery, whatever. And they make whatever small money. Right? They don't look at it that way, like, maybe let me go start the same cookery at another spot. So those people at that other spot don't have to walk all the way to come just here to eat. Then I can be the provider for them there. And then make more money. You get my point. So that's why I think there should be workshops for businesses in Sierra Leone. I don't know how the government of Sierra Leone does things over there, but they really need to launch a massive program about entrepreneurship where they can create workshops to teach people how to go about doing businesses.
Um,
You know what I mean, right?
yeah, in Alan, so
So,
what
quick
you're
question.
saying,
I noticed you just came from Sierra Leone like a few months ago.
yeah.
What is it like to be a youth? Like, what do you hope for? When you wake up in the morning, do you have any hope or like in the next few years I'm gonna be rich?
In Sierra Leone. Me, not over here.
Okay, let me do a small refer to a music song from Tupac. It's just like I see no change. I wake up in the morning and I ask myself,
So yeah,
and then it's just
I
like
remember
the
those
same. You
lyrics.
go in,
Yeah,
sleep and wake, and then everything is that. It's just like your life is stable in a
More
regular
like
manner.
happy go lucky.
Yeah,
More like sad, good luck.
yeah. It's like doing the same thing over and
Yeah.
over, and then it comes to a time you just accept the situation. Like, okay,
Yeah.
well, whatever.
So
'Cause,
in
you know.
regards to what Umo said, like why do people cluster? In economics, they have what they call economies of scale. You want to be near to where you know that you can sell.
You can sell stuff.
nearness or raw materials. You know, so when people cluster, you might benefit from their customers.
Right, right.
So I think it's the same trick they use in
Yeah.
sales. This street is like you see street.
Yeah, where they sell certain things. Yeah.
Because they are pulling customers.
Right, to that point.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah,
like a
but-
center,
then-
it's a focal point.
and then towards what you just said about people about the way they are doing business, I think it's not a problem so in one way around, because like what matters is how you make your stuff.
Well,
You
yeah,
understand
customer
the
service.
difference,
Pretty,
you
pretty
understand?
much, yeah.
You know, because like last time I was speaking to one of my mentors here in New York, and then he was like, Francis, what he asked me, see, what is the difference between your project and then if somebody start doing the same thing? And then I started in listing tons of
Right,
options
right.
and stuff, and then you say, what makes you think us live in another coffee shop and then come here to this coffee shop, and
Right.
then when there's a lot of coffee shop around this area, and then it mentioned some certain points, is it, and like maybe we are getting our coffee from Sierra Leone, or we are getting our coffee from other places, and then
Right.
the coffee is maybe and good, that's why I'm bringing more customers. So like it depends on how you do your business. And then like for the educational system in Sierra Leone, like when it comes to entrepreneurship, I think they should add entrepreneurship or something related to what people are doing, what the youth are doing. You understand? Because like the format of education is just the same. You
Yeah.
understand?
Yeah, go on,
The
I'm
same
listening.
the same type of subject, like on and on, instead of having like a like an extra activity or an extracurriculum activity for youth, where like they can invest in what they think, or like trying new things, trying different things, instead of doing the same thing over and over and over again. You
Yeah.
understand? That's one of the major point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think they should take a look of what the needs are
Mm-hmm.
and tailor the school system. You know.
Mm-hmm. Because
like probably 90% of people in Sierra Leone do business.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And none of them have any business knowledge. It's like they just go by the day, because most of those people that we see are selling, some of them didn't even went to school. Even if they went to school, they stop at class 6. So they don't have the knowledge to have those things. And I think the government that has the opportunity to build stores, instead of, I always say they give away our things so freely to foreigners, instead of using those things and let those foreigners pay us for having their stuff in there. You will not come go to people's place and go own everything. You
Right.
pay taxes for the ground, you pay this every year. Africa is not like that. You buy the store, or maybe you just buy the store, you have the ground.
Right, right.
It's not, that's the problem that I think Africa government has, and they need to change the mindset of being too politic. Our country is too small for this kind of huge hate between two political party. We need to start seeing that we're not hurting the political party. We're actually hurting us. The people that are actually voting are actually being blindsided, or they are causing their own blindness because they don't want to pay attention. They're used to SLPP and APC, and they don't want to try something new. So
Right,
anything
right.
else that comes new, or it's a whole damn process. Because I don't see what those people do, like SLPP, to win? Do you like all the, like when we see here in the States, they go through all these debates, they spend money here, I didn't see that when they were doing the election. I don't know, I didn't see none of that.
Right. Do you know, to be honest, Sierra Leone in general, there are two problems in Sierra Leone. One is government. Two, it's the people. Get me? Both government and the people plays a role in destroying that country. Period. Now, the role that the government plays to destroy that country is the mismanagement of the country's resources. You get me? And that's not all. Their biasness based on their party agenda. Like what you just said, having people in certain positions that are not even qualified for those positions, but you put them there anyway because you want to have someone from your political party so that you can tell them what to do, dictate to them. Okay? That's one thing that government is doing. Now, the people, it's the mindset. Okay? Sierra Leoneans need to stop this tribalism. You should not care whether you and someone comes from the same tribe. If that person is not qualified to be in that position, don't put that person there. Because in retrospect, it's gonna affect your life. Whatever decision they make in that ministry, don't think it's not gonna affect you. It affects you indirectly and directly. When you take someone whose qualifications, you get me, it's about agriculture. You get me? And you take that person and put that person in finance. What do you think is going to happen? No, I'm serious.
Miracles.
Put people where they should be. Put someone whose qualification is about agriculture in the agricultural sector. Put someone in the Ministry of Finance that's their qualification, finance. But then when you put someone somewhere just because, well, we just want to have someone there because, well, this person is a Mende or this person is a Timini, so we need some Timini people there or some Fula people. No. Put the person there.
It's an mixed Fula there. He's fighting for Fula.
No, it's serious. Put someone there who qualifies for the position. That's how things should get done.
I think when you say there are two people, I think they are the same.
Yeah, the same in one.
Politicians are a reflection of the people.
The people, right.
So in other words, you can take anybody in Sierra Leone and make an minister.
Right.
Go for thief.
Right. Like for example, right, Sierra Leone is having a situation right now which has to do with energy. There's an energy crisis in Sierra Leone and the economy. You get me? Those two things, they are so vital in the development of a nation. There is not going to be any investors going to Sierra Leone if the energy problem we're having there is still there. Nobody's going to go there and go use their own electricity, you get me, to actually get their company going. They want to make sure they have electricity available, accessible. That's why we don't have investors going to Sierra Leone to invest. Because they don't want to deal with all that. I have to provide my own electricity. The economy. That's another thing that the government needs to focus on. You get me? So in retrospect, the thing that's going on with Sierra Leone right now, we have an energy expert in Sierra Leone, Dr. Kande Yemukela. Okay? Yes, he belongs to another party. So what? But the man is an expert. The government need to step on its own ego and call that man and say, okay, you know what? Let's put politics aside and let's do this for our country. We need your expertise. Sierra Leone is going through an energy crisis. Now, we need you. Forget party now. Let's put the country first. Okay? But the government will not do that because their ego will let them say, okay, well, if we call this man, it's going to make us look bad. So what should they choose? The development of the country or what makes them look bad? Sierra Leone has so many experts.
They're not
The
being
governments
used.
need to use them because they are experts in those fields. Why you want to go put somebody who's not an expert there?
Because they're not a member of the
Yeah,
party.
exactly. And then when things go wrong, then you sit there and start looking for ways to fix it.
That's why our people need to open our eyes though as well.
Obviously, Kande is one of the best candidates. But if he is an expert, he come from the developed world.
Yeah.
If you are in the United States, you know that you can never be a president.
Yeah.
If you didn't go to Republicans or.
Yeah, I know what you mean because.
So, when he go to Sierra Leone to become president, the first thing he has to figure out is you have to be either SLPP or APC.
Well, I don't agree. I'll tell you why. If we say we have to keep doing that, Sierra Leone will never change. Because you know what happens?
But America is changing.
No, I know what you mean. But have you ever seen an independent become president here? No, right? Because those two parties has monopolized the country's education. Yeah, right. But I don't want to.
We have to figure out how to change those.
Yeah,
from within.
I know
Well,
that's
guess what?
true. That
It's not gonna
I
happen.
understand.
I'll tell you why it's not gonna
No,
happen.
it's
As long as those parties base their ideology on tribalism and
yeah, well,
favoritism.
that's why since he has all this knowledge and he has lived overseas, he will be able to use that and input that in.
Well, he tried, you know that.
No, but
right?
he's not a president, so
No, I
there's
know he
nothing
can't,
he
yeah.
can do.
But
But
he
if you're a
tried-
president,
Right.
there's a lot that
Yeah.
he can. That's what he's
Right.
trying to say. Why
Yeah.
don't he choose like one of the parties
But he
and
did.
then start
No,
walk
he
his
did.
way?
I knew
But
that.
it happened very late. It was already over.
Yeah, but he actually tried to join the SLPP party. I knew that or something like that.
He wanted to join not as a member but as the leading candidate.
Yeah.
They will not let that happen.
Of course, that's my
I know
point.
Bio has been there for a long time.
Well,
Nobody's
that's
gonna allow that.
well, that's the mentality that needs to change. We can't say because someone has been there for a long time, but we know they cannot do a
For
better
a long
job.
time in
Why
Sierra,
put them
he's been
there?
campaigning for a long time to be where he was.
Yeah.
You know, to be honest, the country don't owe any politician anything. They owe the country something.
Yeah,
I
but
hope
it's a,
people realize
it's,
that.
it's no, but it's you know what he's trying to say. It's a usage. It's just like here we have Democrats and we have Republicans.
Okay.
So when Obama wanted to stand, you think he would have won if he came as an independent? No. But because he went through there and say, oh, you know what?
Okay.
Use me.
Okay, well, guess what?
And then he was used, but then he was able to do certain things.
I
That's
agree.
the same thing.
Yeah.
He's trying to say that if
Yeah.
if he go in there not as an independent, say, okay, let me stand for you guys as the president
Okay.
with you guys.
No, I agree
but
with
he's
that.
gonna be able to. It's gonna take time, but he's gonna be able to change within.
I agree.
Because he's the president. So
I agree.
He has all the.
Okay, just so you know, a party will never change overnight.
That's what. And
We're
that's
talking
what I mean.
about decades and decades.
No, it won't be
of
decade. It won't be that
I'll
much
tell
of
you
a
that.
decade. It
I'll
will
tell you why.
start small, like
tell you
little
why.
things. So-
Mentality does not change overnight. Remember, a party is not just a party. The name SLPP is just a name. The people in the party.
Well, that's why
They're
if he's the president, you can remove the president and say, no, let me deal with those
I
stuff.
don't think what I was disagreeing with
Mm-hmm.
is the fact that because somebody has been trying to become president in a party does not necessarily mean they qualify.
Well, he
to be
was
president.
kind of, Bayo was kind of there before, and
I don't.
then
It
he
still
went back.
doesn't matter.
Yes,
what matters is your capability to rule a country. Me, I would care less.
It's not
who
the
someone
They
is.
don't. Then you have to understand that you're talking as if you live here. That's not here.
Okay, now
you live in Africa.
That's my point. Okay, coming back to my point.
Well, that's what I mean. You cannot bring all this stuff and start using it over there.
But that's my
you gotta
point.
take your time because
That's
of all,
my point.
First of all, a lot of the people are ignorant. Excuse me, sorry, Sierra Leonean, but
It's
they
right.
don't have the basic education, the basic knowledge. All they hear is what they say. Some people don't even go to school. Some people don't even know how to vote or how to go there. Everything is crooked, is backwards.
But isn't that the reason why we cannot just say?
Well,
that
that's why a new-
someone just
listen.
because they've been trying to become president.
It's not because he was trying, but he was the only one
No,
for
the mentality
SLPP.
of the people.
It's not the mentality. The people already know SLPP and APC. They don't know your uncle as whatever he's doing or
But
the
that's
other
my
person.
point.
No, well, that's usage. That's what I'm saying. It's a usage thing. It's not like they
But it's
don't
not gonna-
want to do it.
True,
It's not like they
true.
will not want to do it, but then they already know those people. They already know that they're
Well, now-
bad. Either way.
Okay, let me
Either they
explain
choose
to
the
you-
one or
let
the
me
other.
explain to you the political dynamic in Sierra Leone. Okay,
Zero.
how the party works. Okay, they have a hierarchy. Okay, they have the people on the bottom. These are the ones that I call them the soldiers. They're the ones that go out there and cause trouble or whatever, right? And then they have the middle section. You get me? Who listen to the people at the top, and then even the people at the top, they have a few people who are at the top of those people. You get me? So nothing can be done just because somebody goes there and say, well, you know, I want to change this thing.
No, he's not.
You get
Listen,
me?
you don't know
No,
what
no,
I'm
no,
saying.
I'm not denying his fact. I'm just giving
No,
my
it's
own
not his
perspective.
fact. It's
No.
not his fact. I'm just saying,
Okay.
if the person is a president
Okay.
and he entered, yes, you're not going to change things up like boom, it's
Of course,
over.
it's
No,
not gonna
it's
happen
but
overnight.
he will be able to do it within, and little by little, nothing is going to happen. Especially after all this decade of bad presidents and all.
Okay.
You think it's something is going to become no?
Okay,
it's
now-
not going to be all roses and flowers.
It's not.
Or,
But now,
or
remember though,
whatever they call
it's
the
the
thing.
people that makes up a political party. Okay, these people in parties, they are not like aliens from somewhere. It's the people. Unless Sierra Leoneans change their mentality, period. Because even if you don't belong to a party or you're not one of the officials,
So how are you going to
you
change
know,
their mentality?
No, we don't change it for them. Okay, what you can do is educate. They make the choices to change.
Let me tell you something. The thing you don't know about Sierra
You remember when
Leoneans.
we were talking just not too long ago? We
But
talked
who
about
talk no
people
money
making
for
their
it,
choice.
right? Not to say and go say. I'm
No.
just saying.
They have to make that choice.
No,
Nobody will force. You know, we're on camera.
Listen.
I'm gonna say this to Sierra Leoneans. Okay.
Good.
Now
go
we're
ahead.
being real now.
So they ask me what's the topic, we're drifting.
No, that's right. That's right. Okay, now
We're
Sierra
not
Leoneans-
gifting. No, we're not
No, we're
becoming
still on the thing.
politicians.
Yeah. Sierra Leoneans, nobody's gonna make that choice for you to change. Okay. Part of the problem that we're facing in Sierra Leone, part of it is the people. Period. There's no argument in that. The mentality has to change. Okay? One of the mentality that needs to change is tribalism. That's one. Number two, it's how you interact with people when it comes to who should be in what position. Simply
Yeah,
put
that's-
the people that are qualified there.
That's not going to be happening. That's why I said.
Well, but change, right? You're
that's
speaking of change, right?
Yes, but that's mean if Yonkola enter one of the
No, let's
one
forget
of
Yemukela
no,
now.
I'm
We are
just
not
saying
even
a
on
new
Yemukela
no. I
anymore.
mean a new person that has been overseas, that have lived or there, that knows, that has the country heart in mind. If it doesn't matter what kind of people you have at the end,
Right,
but when you
right.
have somebody that has the country heart in mind, he's going to put people that are qualified in certain
Of course,
place.
yeah.
Okay, it doesn't
True,
matter what
true.
but that's what
I
I mean.
agree to that, but
So-
that's not what I'm saying though. I'm in a completely different thing.
So what do you say, like, you say the people are a problem. Like, most of what we have is inherent problems.
Of course.
Like, the people didn't become problem overnight.
No.
No.
Maybe it's due to politicians mismanaging
Right.
and them not being able to be well educated.
No.
Yeah.
It's something like creep up on them.
Of course, yeah.
And being tribal, I mean, you can't blame people for being tribal.
Mm-mm.
Everybody's
No,
finding their
actually,
safety net.
no. Being tribal is not a bad thing because you're from somewhere, so you
Yeah,
have to respect where you're
have
from.
to I mean, human
Right.
beings
But-
associate.
Right. But when it comes to choosing the right people for a certain position, even though you know this person is not qualified, but because the person is from your tribe, you just want someone from your tribe there so you can dictate to them. That's my point. That
So,
needs to stop.
Let me ask you a similar question here. Why do you think Trump was not impeached?
Yeah.
But because of his
Well,
political
no,
party control the Senate. That's why.
That's tribal, right?
Well,
It's
it's
kind of
kind of look like
tribal,
it. Yeah, it's the same
It
thing.
is.
Right.
So in every country, community, you must have that sort of thing. It's up to the leadership to have laws in place. to
Boom.
adhere-
Right. But if the laws are not there,
Yeah, if they're not there.
That's
Well,
my
that's
point.
why we need somebody that will make those laws, because I'm sure there is laws, but they haven't opened
well, yeah,
those
you're
books
right. We need someone that can,
decades.
yeah.
Well, that's why he was saying.
But one
in
person
regards,
cannot change
no,
the
but
country,
he
though. You know
would
that,
try.
right?
But it's little drops of water make
Like,
mighty
Yunus
ocean.
was already almost in SLPP. He left because he cannot get what he wants.
Right.
You know what I mean? To form his own party. When he made that decision, he wasn't thinking about the country.
No.
Because if he was thinking for the country, you'd be like, okay, you know, I know this party is damaged. I'm gonna go in and try to
fix
make a difference.
Exactly.
But what if, let's just say hypothetically, okay, in retrospect, what if he already studied that party and he already noticed that I have something to bring to this party and to this country that is better than what is there? It doesn't mean he didn't make that decision because of, it doesn't mean he made that decision because he didn't have the country at heart. If you have certain qualifications, you know you can bring certain things to the table. better than what they already have there. There's nothing wrong with saying I don't want to
No,
be part of that.
but you're not paying attention to what he's saying.
I know what it means though, but I'm just giving it from my own perspective.
No,
not from his own
I
perspective.
think you need
know
to
that, right?
let's reel it in a little bit. Reel it in, because I think that what he's saying is true, because even though he knows what he can do, he can still do it if he accepts.
But he did accept it.
No, he didn't. He accepted it as with a thing on over their head, and you know those parties ain't gonna go for that.
But those people are power hungry. They're not gonna let that happen.
Because he also didn't want to let it happen.
So which
Boom.
means that's not an option.
Yeah.
Boom.
So why consider it?
Well, in life, it's okay to try. If you fail, you fail.
Good.
That's just my philosophy about life. It's always good to try something. If you fail, you fail. But if you don't try, then how would you know what you need to change, right?
So
but let's forget Yemoke Lado. This is not about it. Yeah.
Let's go back to
So-
the topic about the youth.
You mentioned about you being a youth leader,
Yeah.
and you want to figure out how you can be of help to him. Can you talk a little bit on that?
Oh yeah. But I'm sorry, viewers, that we, in every discussion we need some spark. So that's the spark that we had. Yes, we didn't come here so we can agree. Just so you all know, right? We're here to discuss about issues about youth and what can be done. So what we just discussed about is basically the things that are actually affecting youth development, and politics is one of them. Period. We all know that. When it comes to youth in Sierra Leone, they have different organizations, youth organizations that are actually doing their best, but to be honest, it's not enough, because most of those organizations, they don't have the backing of the government. And when they don't have the backing of the government, most government officials, if they're not gaining something from something, they don't want to be part of it. For them, it's a waste of time because they're not personally gaining from it, right? For Sierra Leonean youth to actually move forward with a lot of things that will be good for them, you get me? The first thing they have to do is do what our brother right here, what's your name again? Francis D. Okay? Do not wait for government to help you move forward in life. Francis did it without government help. Matter of fact, he went to see some people in government, people that are higher, in higher places, whatever, that he thought would help him.
Didn't.
Instead, they told him a lot of stories and did not help. Just so you know, if the government does not want to provide opportunity for you, look somewhere else.
Yeah.
Like what our brother did here. He's a perfect example and a perfect role model for youth in Sierra Leone. I'll advise youth in Sierra Leone to follow his example. Look for other avenues. You get me? There are lots of other avenues out there. So, for example, I'm the president of the Sierra Leone National Youth Organization. I'm also one of the co-founders, right? The reason why we formed that organization was because in Minnesota, the youth in Minnesota, we felt like they were not engaged with their community. You know what I mean? It's almost like they didn't care about what goes on in the Sierra Leone community or whatever. So the purpose of that organization was actually to bring all the young Sierra Leoneans together so we can ask ourselves, what is it we can do for our community? But then because there was a lot of youths back home that needed that help than the youths in the United States, so we end up focusing our attention in Sierra Leone. As we speak, we've done a lot of fundraising. We've worked with a lot of organizations like the base organization. We've worked with Lunchbox Gifts. We've helped raise funds for Ebola, cholera, and the flooding and all those things. But it is not enough. Now, what we're trying to do, we're trying to look for a spot where we can create some kind of adult education where people can go learn trade. Like young people can go learn some kind of trade. Our focus is mostly on carpentry and tailoring. Those programs are actually focused on youth learning some kind of trade so they can survive. We don't want them just to stop there. We want them to further their education. But those are just a catalyst. It's a starting point for you to just finish O levels, or what's the equivalent for O levels again in Sierra Leone?
Was.
WAS? Okay, WAS, right? Because once they do that, at least they have a job to do. They might even be able to pay, you get me, they might even be able to pay for themselves, pay their way in college, because at least they have a job to do. So if they learn that trade can help them. It's the kind of same system that most Africans do in the United States. They go to school, they work, some of them even pay their way to school. They pay for their own tuitions. But they do that because they have some kind of work, some kind of job to do. So that's the kind of system we're trying to use, so that when these young people have jobs to do, whether it's through trade that they learn or whatever, then they will be able to pay for themselves, so that they don't have to depend on government. Because this thing about depending on government is not working for Sierra Leoneans, period. It's not working. So as much as I am a youth leader, but I also think Francis here, who's on the ground and has always been on the ground, knows a lot. So what we want to hear is from Francis. What advice that Francis might have for this youth back home, so that they can follow his example. Because right now, Francis is trying to go to Yale University. The kind of visa that Francis came here with, he cannot work. He just cannot work. He's just here to focus on that program. You get me? So now, Humu actually is going to focus on appealing to people out there and see what we can do for Francis. Because whether we like it or not, Francis is on his way to Yale University. And we all know Yale University is one of the best universities in the United States. Yeah. So what can we do as Sierra Leoneans to help Francis? You get me? To help Francis
in his project,
and not just in his project, but what can we do to help him personally to make it easy
for him to concentrate on
his studies? Because he can't work, period.
No.
He just cannot work because the visa he comes here with does not allow him to work. So that's where we as Sierra Leoneans come in. I am pledging right now that the Sierra Leone National Youth Organization, as soon as we are finished with this, I'm going to start making calls. That's my own priority right now. So now I'm appealing to other organizations out there. Here we have a talented Sierra Leonean, a very smart, intelligent Sierra Leonean. Okay? He did it himself. He didn't wait for government to give him some kind of scholarship or some kind of program. He did that. He was proactive to help himself. He's a perfect example to youth back in Sierra Leone. So if he did that himself to come over here, what is it that we can do to make it easier for him in that journey? So Humu, I'll leave that to you.
I'm going to say this. Not only is he doing this for himself, because he's put in the country, as he said, he's the first person, right? He's the first person to have been selected to come to a program like this. It's a summer program that he came for, and now he's trying to scout out colleges to see where he can go. But going to college is not, we all know it's not easy. There's a lot of things that included. Even though he said he has a shelter right now, a place where he can stay, I was really surprised, and I was asking him, how do you get stuff because you're not working? I even asked him how he eats, but luckily where he stays, they provide food for him. But at the same time, he's a young man. He needs some kind of help. He needs something. And he said he has to travel with pay more for transportation and doing his project that he's trying to do, because he's trying to, what's the name of your tech?
Frantech.
Frantech. He's trying to make this 3D cement for water.
Yeah, tanks.
Cement tanks for water, where we in Africa there is the problem with water is everywhere. everywhere. So we have water sometimes, but we don't have place to keep the water, to store the water for a long period of time without, if it's pipes or pump they burst or whatever. So he is doing a 3D. That's what he has in mind, to have the machine and everything to just make this happen. And he's also trying to go to school as well to get that education, just to help himself. And he's not the person that want to go work for somebody. He
Right.
is a self-made person. He want to work for himself. He want to hire people. And if he's able to go to Yale and he's able to go back to Africa and try to start all those things, guess what he's going to create? Job opportunities. And I also think the program that he went to is something that a lot of people in Sierra Leone back home need to learn about, so they can actually go to those programs. So people that are smart enough, not trying to use the system to come, but just to come to excel, and you have an entrepreneur mind to be able to come overseas as well, learn certain things, get accepted for programs. This is something that we need to put out there so people can know they have stuff like this for kids that are really smart. And I think the government needs to be part of stuff like this, to be sending smart kids from school. We all know, when you go to school, you ask the principal, they know who the smartest child in the school is.
Right.
They know everything because they keep records. If they can do that, like bring few kids to come here for internship, whether it's a month, whether it's 6 months, and then go back and use the skills that they've learned here and use it back home. Because I was shocked when he said he had to actually pay when he got the visa, the acceptance letter, and he got the visa. He didn't even have the money for tickets. He had to struggle
and raise
the fund himself. And then coming here, if he wasn't lucky enough to have somebody or to have known somebody in New York, I don't know where he would have been. Because they gave him a visa, they accepted him, but they didn't give him a place to stay. That's where our government should have stepped in and say, you know what, this is a big thing, bring it on TV, let people know about it, and then you help this guy get ready. Because you don't have to fill out paperwork. They already did that for him. They gave him a visa. So all you have to do is put out the funds and help him. It's not like he's looking for million. He's looking to survive. As we all know, over Africa, you can find uncles there, aunties there that you can go to. Overseas, there is no uncles and aunties because they all have problems. If you call them, they will read the letter of problems that they have before you even get to ask them a question for money. So it's not like Africa. So I think somebody is writing something, but we're not going to go to that when it comes to politics and all this stuff. I'm not going to go into it because it's a whole lot. It's a deep-rooted problem, and we can change. We can try, but we can change because there's a lot of mindset that needs to be changed. There's a lot of policies that need to be put in place. And I think all these things like policies. If we have a policies where we award people that, or you go each class and say, okay, the top of the school this year, we're going to send 3 of them we're going to pick 3 schools. We're going to send them to some place, either in overseas or Europe, America, wherever, to go learn something, to go do an internship. I think the government will be okay with it. They'll be okay with it because they want the smart people to come over here and start doing stuff so that they can say, oh, it was us. So he's making a name for Sierra Leoneans. And he's the first person to ever got through this kind of program. If he gets all the help, he will be able to help other students that are like-minded like him, to show them the steps that he took him to get to this point where he is. But how can he talk about it? Nobody's talking about it on the TV. Nobody knows that it's happened. Yes, we need singing and dancing and all those stuff is good, but education and becoming an entrepreneurship is also important in life. Because anybody that become a musician, you're an entrepreneur because you're working for yourself. So all those things is education. So I'm calling out to everybody that watch, viewers, if there's anything you can do, organization out there, you can call me. I will give the information and I will let you know and see what we can do for him, what funds we can raise for him so he can, because as he said right now, he was supposed to go to a class, but he couldn't afford the money. They asked him for $3,000 and he only had $1,000. So he has to defer that program because he couldn't afford 3,000. I'm gonna let him tell you about the stuff and how it happened, so he knows what it is. I just hear it from him,
Right,
so
right.
you can take the stage.
Before Francis starts, the thing that you were going to say, I was gonna have you, if you can, please, say something about that program, how it can be accessed online, so other young Sierra Leoneans back there, because now I look at you as a role model. I look at you as a motivator. You get me? Because now you're live, they're looking at you that you succeeded in getting into this program. So I am trying to see if you can be like a catalyst, like a way for them to understand how the program goes, what website they need to go, stuff like that. Maybe in the future on your Facebook page, if you want, you can do a live thing about it where you specifically, teach them what to do, how to do it.
Yeah,
You get
because
me?
he's a speaker
Yeah.
already.
Yeah, right. So
like,
touch
let
on
me say
that for us.
let me say something. And like what you're saying, that is what I've been doing for the past 2 to 3 years now. You understand? But like most of the people or most of the young people out there in Sierra Leone, it's not about showing them the opportunity, but most of them want you to like do all this stuff for them as well. You understand? Like after I came from the YAS program 2017, they gave me a task to go around the Freetown village onto schools around to talk about the program, how my experience and all. So it's everything is just based on school outreach. So like I went to tons of schools, and some of the schools I was not allowed to go to because they needed permission. I was like, okay, so
That's
and then
messed
I had
up.
to host information session for the past 2 years. I hosted around and then encouraging you to on my Facebook. I got calls and messages from different people. Let me say all across Africa, or sometimes across the world.
Right.
You understand? Like when they saw my profile, they were like, "Oh, Francis, how do you go about this?" So my job is to mentor or to guide them through the process. So
Right.
that is what I have been doing, like for the past 2 or 3 years. So like whenever because when one of my own perspective is like whenever something good happens to do something good for someone
For
else.
someone
Yeah.
else. Right.
You understand?
Right.
So
Right.
it's all about the mindset of the people, just like what you say. You understand?
Yeah.
Because if you're determined, I can show you the thing. Like the way I know about these programs or the way everything started is very like it's very I don't know how to put it.
It was kind of casual
Yeah,
when you look at it
like,
at first.
it was kind of casual. Like
Yeah.
I was working with my colleague Sydney, and then he was like, and then we saw the program on the internet, and then he was like, "Hey Francis, check this one out," and then he said, "Okay," and then he showed me the name. I was like, "Okay." And then I saw the name. All I had to do is to text the name on my phone, and then
Google.
I place it down. And then we
Right.
keep on doing our stuff. So after we finish, and then I go back and then look through the requirement. I was like, oh, I got all this stuff. I got my results, and then I
Yeah.
can write the essay. So I wrote the essay, and then the process is always kind of frustrating because like the pressure is one.
Right.
You understand? Like most of the programs you saw like out here in the US or across the globe, like to go through the application process is kind of difficult because sometimes you can start it, but to finish it is the thing.
Yeah.
You understand? Like for the Yale program and then for the Yale summer program, it's very like the thing is it's so kind of it's very competitive. So got accepted to the one in Africa and then the one in at the university of itself.
Right.
So to got accepted to it, like they are looking for outstanding students, but I cannot place myself as an A student, just like what I said.
Right.
But like what I'm doing outside the classroom and combine it.
Yeah.
It's
To
like-
every-
yeah,
yeah. I know what you mean.
Yeah, so
Like I want to say, life, getting to certain things that you want to do in life is never easy.
No.
They need to understand that it takes work to get there. You cannot just let me tell you what it is and you want me to write it all down. No, you have to also do your research, do what you're supposed to do. Just show me where it is and then guide me through it. If I have few questions, I will call you up and say, please, I want to know how you did this. That's it. You don't have to. People think you have to hold their hands to
and
go
then,
places.
like,
No.
And then like what you're saying about sharing these opportunities, like since 2018, after I came from the Yale program, when I got home, they selected me as alumni ambassador. So like I was the first Sierra Leonean, and it was kind of cool being an ambassador for a program from the
Yeah, I know what you mean.
yeah. So like they gave me a sub website and the Yale official university website.
Right.
So inside that website, I have a WhatsApp group that I just changed the name to Frank Opportunity Network. So like I keep on posting whenever I saw something on the internet. I keep on posting it on
so people can see.
you can get access to it. So it's not my job to go and start doing anything for you. Sometimes I start it for people that are kind of ignorant or that are somehow close to me, because like most of my friends and most of the people that are more closer to me, like because I'm too choosy when I'm
Having friends.
my environment, but I'm that you can class me as the most localized person, because I don't take my achievement or where I've been to and put it in front of me. You
I
know
know people's face.
Yeah.
Yes.
So like the people I can see you and then I say, oh, this person deserves this thing, because when it's easier for you to spot a smart person when you're a smart person. You understand? So like most of my friends that are A students, so whenever I go to this opportunity, I'm like, man, you guys, you're supposed to be there because you are kind of smarter than me.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
You understand? But like, it's the way I do my thing and make it more because your uniqueness is your difference. So it's how you do your thing.
Everybody has different, as I say, everybody have different traits and all the stuff. But I just think everybody needs to try. If you know you're smart, you're talented, or you have extra things that you can do, I just say fill out the application, do what they say. They said fail. The only time you fail is when you fall down and you don't stand up. But fail and try makes you even stronger than you think you are. Because some people, for them, they do it one time, they're good. Other people, they will have to do it a couple of times before they. So you got to have that patience and perseverance and want to get to that point. You need to have that in your mind. What your future. This is my destiny. This is what I want to be.
Like if I can say something, one of the most craziest thing, like when I'm looking back to applying to this kind of stuff, is like they had a 2-year diploma program in South Africa. They call it African Leadership Academy. And then there's this Yale summer program, the one in Africa and then the one in the US. So I applied, and the most interesting thing is that I applied for the one in South Africa for like 3 years in a row. African Leadership Academy. They never accepted me.
Right.
You understand? Like seeing yourself, like it was like a dream come true in school for me. I want to go to this school. ALA, you understand? And then whenever but like I know I'm doing the right thing. Like I keep on doing my own stuff. So
and you're still applying.
And when I got accepted to YAS, I met some students from ALA.
Right.
You understand? And we were all in the same campus. But like, I know I'm not the best, but whenever I am among the best, they always recognize my presence.
Right.
So that's period. You understand? So like, the people I thought I'm admiring them, they're like, oh, Francis, you're doing good stuff.
I know, right.
Yeah. And then the last time I had some friends from ALA, from Sierra Leone. Both of them like, they finished the 2-year diploma program, and then we went for this 2-year in summer program. Just spent like 1 week there and then 2 weeks there. So they spent like 2 years. I'm telling you about 2 years.
And
so like and then we came to Sierra Leone. Like everybody's like they're admiring what I'm doing, and then I'm like, well, you guys spent, you understand?
Spent 2 years there.
I know, right? I know what you mean.
You understand? So like, but we're all doing the same thing. What I would just say is like everybody has a different part. Just identify your purpose. You understand?
True that.
So because like, if I can do my own stuff, it doesn't mean you can follow the trend of what
I'm doing.
Yeah.
You have your own
way. You
way.
just keep on doing what you're doing. You just whatever it takes. Like just love the pressure.
Right.
You know, that's the main thing.
Right.
Like if you love the pressure, but if you don't accept it, you feel like killing yourself.
Right.
You fail.
Like seriously.
Right. So, you know, to be honest, like I say, you can inspire a lot of people. To be honest, you inspire me in a lot of ways. I'm serious.
Yeah.
I'm serious.
After hearing your story,
I probably might be older than you. You get me?
Yeah.
But your mentality, wish.
Did he just said he might be older than me?
No.
Did he
Because
just
I don't
say
know.
that?
I don't know his age. So I'm not gonna
Viewers, did you hear that? He said he might be older than
Okay,
he
this
is.
is how I am.
I don't understand that part.
This is what I do. When I don't know nothing,
Nah,
I assume.
you can look at the face and know that you're definitely
Some
older.
people have good genes.
Nuh-uh. Not that good, honey.
Some people do have
not,
good genes. What
Not
are you
that,
talking
not
about?
that good.
Anyways. Yeah. Well, let me just say she's right about that one. But what I'm trying to say is that the way he thinks, I wish I was thinking that way
When I was his age.
way back.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
No, I'm serious.
Yeah.
You know, he inspires me in a lot of ways. Matter of fact, I can use some of his inspiration because I still have things that I want to achieve myself. I mean, education-wise, you know, business-wise, you name it, talent-wise, whatever it is. But I get inspiration from people's stories, you know, the way their journey in life, how they achieve certain things. You know, I am inspired by him. You get me? That's why I'm appealing to Sierra Leonean youth. You get me? Let him be like a role model to you. A role model doesn't necessarily have to be your parents. It can be anybody. And I see him as a role model, to be honest though.
And then what I would have to say like to some of my youth there in Sierra Leone is like whenever you have something in you, like just start to do something. If you're thinking about doing something, it doesn't matter. You understand? Like for me, like whenever I'm with my colleagues or whenever let me say for example, whenever I'm applying for stuff, I always tell my friend let me say I'm gonna be accepted no matter what. I don't know for you, but me when I'm
No, it's good because you speak it to the world.
yeah, like
You gotta be positive.
like let me say in another in Sierra Leone word, I would say like Sammy, I don't zero.
I
I
know
know
what
for
you
you.
mean.
You understand? I will do all what it takes for me to
get there.
get this thing. You understand? So like I don't look at the
Process.
the process or the pressure. You understand? Because it's always frustrating. And I'm the type of person like I always do well at the deadline.
Right.
You understand? Because
You
like,
work well under pressure.
Yeah.
under pressure. You understand? Because like whenever you saw something in the first view, you understand? You're like, okay.
That's hard.
Holy moly, I'm
It's
gonna
hard,
stay right
right?
here.
So like it's kind of like a proactive procrastination. You
Yeah,
understand?
I know what you mean. Yeah.
So you are the ones that give your homework one day to the just
Yes.
right there
Yes.
when the
Yes.
teacher is leaving. Please let me give you. I
Yes.
forgot.
Yes.
I'm just finishing up the paper.
Well,
over here.
I just
Yeah,
learned
and then-
two new words today. These are blended words.
Proactive and
procrastination. You know, let me take some notes here.
You know, like
Leave my book alone.
you know, like the reason why I say so, I remember I was supposed to do a pitching for the Freetown Pitch Night, and then they have this man, Mr. Francis, part of the Innovation Axis. So like I went to him and then I told him about my project. He was like, okay, Francis, you have to send this proposal and then send your stuff. Let me see, let me preview. And at that time, all the document the man was asking for, I didn't have anything of them, but like I was supposed to send it before 9 o'clock in the evening. And then I have my own presentation, and then okay, I just finished designing my own presentation, and I thought I was going to use mine, and then he has to send another template for me, and he said, for instance, I need this thing to be done 9 o'clock in the evening. And then I said, I don't know. I don't care about what you say. The preaching is tomorrow. And then even if I finish it 11 o'clock, I'm going to send it for you. Even if you don't accept it, I'm going to send it for you. So like I was working with my friends. So we finished doing all the write-up and all. And then it was like, Francis, this guy just told you, you're not going to preach tomorrow. You already erased your name. And then I said, my man, Mohammed, I said, man, go to sleep and come.
Yeah.
You just do your own part. And then as soon as I finished doing all the write-up, and then I was like, okay, you accept it or you don't accept it, I'm going to send it to your email. And then I sent it. And then after I sent it, and then I said, okay, tomorrow is the pitching. I just saw he gave me a text message, you're going to be pitching first. And I was like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
because you read it.
Yeah.
So something you said, no, man.
that the other didn't have. That's why you got to have determination. You know your goal.
right.
You don't care about the struggles that is going to get there, because you know when you get there, you're going to make it.
Right.
That's all he has. That's why, even though people are saying, oh, the government has to set up a fund for young people like that, we love that. We want the government to be involved in these things.
Right.
But let me tell you something first. For people that come to SierraCast TV, you guys need to not only watch these things, some things here, we have shows where we just talk about people's lifestyle, their music, or what they're doing. But then programs, certain programs like this is things that we need to share, because if we don't share it, it's not going to get to the government. Because maybe the friends that I have is not the same friends you have on Facebook. So when you share it, somebody's gonna be, we don't know where opportunities come from. So if you want to be seeing all those things, you need to go to our page. You got to follow us. You got to like. You got to view. You got to share. Sharing is caring. You got to share the video so other people can see it, and then maybe those people will have maybe a solution to certain problems, because we can do everything. We are trying, because we are just a new network as well. We are not making any money, so anything that we do is out of our pocket. My producer is great. Everything he has is quality, but he spends a lot of money to get all those stuff.
Right.
And it's not, we're not bringing, there's no cash rolling in yet, or we don't have all those things. But to you guys, we know we're gonna do it, because you people need to know that Sierra Leoneans are up and coming. If the government is not doing it, we the people, because we are the one that makes the government. So we have to start doing something. Complaining is good, but if we see that the government is not doing what they're supposed to do, now it's about time for us to step up. Because how long are we going to keep complaining? How long are we going to keep procrastinating and waiting for somebody else to take the lead? You take the lead and see if people will not follow you. Sometimes it's not easy. When I started doing live, I have few people watching. But as time goes on, I'm building people. That's how it works. They say one person can change things, but it's a start. Because once I started, somebody else is going to pick it up. It's not just, people need to see, because we all say, oh, politician, you never know who is going to tell you the truth, who is going to do what they say they're going to do. They always say beautiful things when they're doing their campaign, but at the end of the day, you never know who is really for the people until they're in the position where they are doing things. So for us to be able to help this young man, I would love for you guys to go and share this post and see how we can help, because right now the government is not setting up nothing. So till the government set up something, let's find a way to make his dream come true, because that dream, what he's dreaming, is going to save a lot of lives, create a lot of jobs, help people to know. And he has stepped up to be the person to help people go through this program. He's not going to hold nobody's hand, because nobody held his hand. He tried it and did it. And for him to give you his time, you have to really want this. You have to really have a goal. He needs to know that you have a goal, because nobody wants to be their time to be wasted. We don't want to start something and then you say, oh my God, I can't do it. That's how difficult it is. No. And let me tell you, nothing in life is easy. We all go through ups and downs. So please, my people, my viewers, I know we tend to talk, we tend to argue and disagree, agree to disagree. That's what the show is all about. So we just want you to understand that we love, let me tell you, there's a lot of love here. We can argue and still be good. That's what I want Sierra Leonean to understand. Just because you argue with somebody or you don't have the same opinion doesn't mean you guys can work or you guys can be as a par. Okay? So please, let's have this view goes up. Let's have the SierraCast be followed everywhere. Share it to every page that you think is important for them to share. And if you know people, instead of telling us to call this person, let me tell you, there is one person that said we need to talk to there was a person there that said something. I can't remember. He said contact Ambassador Victoria Suleimani, the deputy representative for Sierra Leone UN. Please reach out to AMB Fode Mansari. You say that because you know the person. If I call them or if I send them, they're not going to respond to me. They don't know me. They're not going to respond to him. They don't know him. That's how networking starts. You can connect us. You connect us, because I cannot call that person and start. They will not even pick up the call because they don't know me, but they know you, so you can be like a gateway or open door for this young man out here. Okay, so
question for Francis on the screen.
Question for Francis: are you thinking of hosting an online conference or summit on ground in Sierra Leone, then beam the program live?
That question's for you.
Yeah.
For me,
Yeah, I said, are you thinking of hosting an online conference or summit on ground?
yeah, I'm thinking of doing that stuff, but like that is just part of my objective and plans.
Right.
You understand? I can do that when I have chance of going back, like
Yeah.
because I know how to go about the process.
Right.
But like if they want to make it more bigger, also, like,
Right.
I'm always ready.
Yeah, as you see, he is ready. But you saying hosting an online conference, he has to have a lot of viewers, and listen. Everything that we do in this world is money.
Right.
He needs all the equipment to hold the conference. He needs the right people for a conference. And going on ground in Sierra Leone and holding a summit, you have to find place to do the summit. With no money, you can rent any hall or any place, or just go. As he said some schools that he wanted to go, they didn't allow him to go there.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand that. But that's what is this with Africa. It's connection upon connection. If nobody knows you or know who you are, or they're not related to some of your great grandparents somewhere there, they don't want to hear what you got to say. Even if you have something good to say. That's the mindset that needs to change.
Right.
Because you don't know where your blessing is coming from. You see somebody coming there in that school. Maybe if you would have said something, there would have been more Sierra Leonean chosen for this kind of program. But look, he's the only one. How many people do we have in Sierra Leone and overseas? None that has been there. He's the one and only. It's because nobody is taking it seriously.
Right. So, I'm just going to follow up on what Homo just said. Everything she said, I concur with, and I support her 1,000%. So that said, as much as I might be up here and just saying all these things, trying to appeal to people to help, like what Humu said, sometimes you got to take the lead on anything. So in a normal situation, I will do this anonymously. You get me? So like what she said, we have to be leaders in whatever we do. We have to follow a lead or be the leaders in everything, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm going to take that lead. From me, because if we're trying to tell people to donate this just to help this young man go through, personally, I want to hear from him constantly. So I'm going to set up some kind of communication on Tube or something that me and him will be talking, because I want to know how he's doing. I want to know how the causes are going. I want to know if I need, because I'm an artist. I can set up a fundraising just for him, where I can invite other artists to perform and let them know this is a fundraising for a Sierra Leonean brother who really needs that money.
Yeah.
Because he cannot work in the States because they want him to focus on his studies.
Yeah.
But he needs to buy little things for himself.
Mm-hmm.
He needs, little things that he might need personally to take care of himself. Mm-hmm. So that's another secondary thing that I'm going to put through. I'll talk to some people of my organization, right? The Sierra Leone National Youth Organization. But before I talk to them, I am personally going to pledge $200 right here, right now. You get me? Because now, normally I would do this behind closed doors, but I'm doing this now, saying it because I want to inspire other people to do the same thing. Mm-hmm. Because sometimes goodness cannot just be done secretly. Mm-hmm. If you're doing it publicly, doing it with the intention to inspire other people. Yeah. Because we're sitting here, she's saying that, and sometimes we have to take the lead. So I am taking that lead, and I don't want to say donate. I am pledging $200. Matter of fact, it's a donation, right? Because I'm actually going to give it to him now. I'm not even going to waste time about it. It's not something I promise to do later. Mm-hmm. I want to do it now. So I am appealing to Sierra Leoneans out there. Please. These are the kind of people that we need to help. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, he has so much talent. There's so much, ambition. That he can do for Sierra Leone. Mm-hmm. Imagine if he completes his studies, right? And all those projects that he's working on. There's a lot he can do for Sierra Leone. Mm-hmm. We may not know it, but there's so much we can do for certain people in our community to help achieve their dreams, and they in turn will help the country. We cannot just wait for government all the time. We cannot just wait for organizations all the time. Some of these donations we can do personally.
Yeah.
And I would
Yeah.
say that I am proud that that money is going towards him.
Yeah. Definitely. Definitely.
I will do that 1,000 times over if I can.
Yeah.
Because those are the kind of things that we need to put our money towards. You know, I don't want to judge nobody. You can do whatever you want to do with your
Yeah.
money. But the fact is, sometimes we spend money on foolish things with no benefits.
Yep. One person.
So imagine if you spend that money towards a brother, I mean a very smart and intelligent brother who's really trying to do good and do right by himself.
And let me just cut in a little bit. And he's going to Yale. He wants to go to Yale mostly. That's his dream. When you want to go to Yale, you got to present. The presentation is outside and inside and in your books.
Right.
He has to look the part. And he doesn't have money to look the part because he can't get clothes. He can't go by himself or maybe go get the best haircut
Right.
or go to the best shoe place and get it. He can't do all of that because he doesn't have the money. And you gotta look.
University in general. Like, what I'm saying, like, we're just talking about university in general. Like, I just want to go to uni out there and do some stuff. It might be Yale or it might be another top Ivy League school,
Right.
or another top schools. Yeah, but
Right.
like, yeah.
Yeah, he said he's either Yale or another top Ivy League school, which is good. I'm pushing for Yale. They said
Yeah, we want Yale.
we speak in positive things in the
Right.
air, and God will bring it back
We're
to
looking at
us.
bigger
So
things for
yeah,
them.
we're
Right.
pushing that, and I'm gonna pledge. I'm listen. I ain't making no dime. So,
So you
but,
see?
but I'm pledging. But I'm not gonna tell you what I'm pledging.
Right.
Though, but I'm pledging. Okay,
Right.
we're gonna leave it just like that.
Yeah.
We're not gonna talk much about it. Okay,
Yeah.
but I will appreciate people if you contact me, contact Amjar, so we can, because we have direct contact. I made sure he got here so he can be here. I wanted him
Right.
here. I could have done the video on the phone and so, but I wanted him to be here. And
Right.
as somebody was saying, he has to look the pie. He has to do the talk is good. I like action. Okay. I love action and us looking to people and saying, okay, we want to, this government is going to do, or this person, check out this person. I'm starting by myself. I don't know government people. Listen. But I'm going to do myself because the thing about me is I always say if I give somebody, like somebody asked me one time, can you give me something? I'm like, I don't know. I was like, okay. Guess what happened? I gave the person $50 and guess what came back to me? $200 from somebody else that I didn't plan, I didn't ask, So when you give, God replenish. Let me
Right,
tell you,
right.
there is no way in hell that God doesn't replenish goods. If you think he doesn't, you're lying to yourself. But God always give you back sevenfold what you give to people with your heart. You're not doing it because of you want people to see, but you're doing it from your heart. God is always going to bless you back.
Right.
Believe me, I'm a walking blessing. Okay,
Right.
I'm a walking miracle. People that knows me, I am a walking miracle. So there is no way in hell I can just look at him and not say, let me do something. We all, Sierra Leonean, need to step up. If you're making it and you're doing it in life, he just came here. He's trying. And even though he has to push his school, deferred his program because of the amount of money that he needed to go, but he couldn't afford it, he's still doing other things. He's still going out there, going to UN meeting. He was in UN conference yesterday that they invited him to. He goes to conferences. He still takes part. He's not giving up just because he doesn't have the finance yet to go to that. He's still looking for colleges to go, but the program that he was supposed to go to, he couldn't go. He deferred that program because of financial reason. It's $3,000. We can do way more than that. I don't have a foundation. Neither do I have money to go rent a hall to do fundraising. Because if I say I'm going to rent a hall to do a fundraising, that hall is going to cost me $1,000 and something or $2,000 to rent a hall. So I don't know how much I'm going to make to get people in. And I don't know that much people. But if we can do it through the phone, through anything, there's Cash App, there's all sort of things, we really will appreciate it for him. Because he's really, really doing good. And he's staying positive, even though when things seem to be as tough as it is for him. I couldn't believe it when he was telling me when he came here. And he was smiling all the time, and I'm like, child, please. I can't.
Right.
You just mentioned Ivy League. Where did you learn that word, Ivy League?
Ivy League, it's just like the top schools in there.
Well,
He's
you
a
see-
smart kid.
see-
When you're smart, you're smart.
You see, this is what the
That's
internet
like
does to
American
people.
culture.
Mhm.
Right,
In America,
right,
they talk about Ivy League.
right.
Yeah.
So you see why internet is very important.
Hmm.
There's so much, young people can learn from just by going and spend some time on the internet. Like, he said earlier, yes, sometimes he checks Facebook. Yes, sometimes he does WhatsApp. But he always go online to get to know things, just so he can better himself.
Mhm.
You get me? If anybody does, if you want to help, these are the kind of people you want to help.
Yep.
Because they said in life, the strides that we make has to come from us 80%, maybe even 90%. The 10% is what other people say, okay, let me help you do. But it doesn't matter how much those people wants to help. If the person you are helping
It's not ready.
is not ready or is not serious, then it's for nothing. But here we have a young man.
That is ready, and he
He's more
doesn't
than
even have it.
90% ready. And that's not all. He's not just ready. He's walking the walk.
He's not only talking the talk, honey.
Right.
Walking the walk.
So why can't we help him? He's a Sierra Leonean. These are the kind of people we know are the future leaders. Because whatever he achieves educationally, he will take that education back home and go help the country.
And even the program that they asked him to do, they were telling him to do 3D of any kind of thing.
Right.
And his first thing to think about is making sure people have a storage for water.
For water. Right. And we all know how we all know the water situation in Sierra Leone. People are dying of typhoid over there. Just because of lack of proper storage, for the water that we have. We have abundance of water because it rains a lot. But you can't just drink it because the
There's a process.
atmosphere, whatever is contaminated with bacteria and all that stuff, viruses. So water has to be contained safely. Now that's one of the projects that he's working on. So these are the kind of people we really want to reach out to and say, you know what? I am going to help you. So please, please, please contact Homo or contact SierraCast TV. I'll just say contact SierraCast TV. On my part, I work with the Sierra Leone National Youth Organization. We've been around for like 6 years now. You can contact me as well. I'm Noah Jene, JCon on Facebook. Or you can contact me on Instagram. It doesn't matter. My number is on Facebook, actually. If you contact my page, you'll see my number there. I will take whatever donation you want to donate to this young man. And the money, I'll guarantee you that money will go directly to him.
Okay. And he also have his page that you can follow him on.
Yeah.
So he too,
tell them
your page, because you can make as the same. Internet is important, and now the more viewers or the more followers he has, he might start making money. But we need to have 1 million followers and plus on those things. So people,
Right.
here is Instagram and Facebook and everything else
Just the
information.
same name. I'm just using Francisco Ma for all.
Yeah.
Okay, Francisco Roma for all. So go on Instagram, Francisco Roma. Go on Facebook,
Francisco.
Francisco Roma. Everywhere. If you want to know anything about him, check on Francisco Roma. You can message him. If you don't want to go through us, you want to go directly to him, you can go on Facebook, Francisco Roma, and you can message him directly. You can like his page on and follow him on Instagram so that he can have viewers. Because the more, if he wants to do like a summit or do like those online conference, you need to have enough viewers. You don't want to be talking to 10 people.
Right,
you want
right.
to talk to more people. So please, let's start following people that are changing the world, people
Right.
that are trying to
Right.
change Sierra Leone, people that are trying to put Sierra Leone on the map. As I told you guys before, our show is to make sure Sierra Leone is seen for the beauty and prestige that it is.
Right.
So we need to change
Right.
a lot. We need to start supporting others in the right things. Priority need to be right. Supporting somebody in a marriage, party, or whatever is not an accomplishment. This is a career. For me, it is a career. It's my life. And I know for Hamja is his life. So you need to follow him. Go to our page. Send him message directly. If you guys don't want to talk to us, send him message directly and he will answer you guys, because that's how I contacted him, through Messenger.
Technically me on Facebook.
See, I added him on Facebook. I added him on
Is there
Facebook.
something special about your Facebook page? Because there might be a lot of Francis Koroma. Is it Koroma?
Yes, Francis
Yeah,
Koroma.
there may be a lot of other Francis Koroma, but help people pinpoint the Francis Koroma that they need to contact. Is there something special about your page? Like initially when they see it, is it your picture? What's the picture
It's
like?
his picture. It's a picture with the
Yeah, what does it look like? Just say, like a
hot,
picture
cold,
that-
dressed
yeah.
in hoodie, and I can describe the page because I've been there so many times. I'm sorry. I'm a stalker.
Right. Yes, you are.
Like when you go to my Facebook page,
Did
you
he
can
just call me a stalker?
you can just Francis Coleman, and then my nickname is just Francis Coleman Official.
Okay.
And then you
So-
say tons of position and
Right.
and
So when you go to Facebook to contact him directly, if you want to help him or to donate anything to him financially to help him, just type in Francis Koroma official. Francis
just type in
Koroma,
Francis
and then
Koroma.
Francis Koroma official. You see it
Oh.
underneath.
Yeah, that's the nickname.
Yeah,
Like,
it says Francis Koroma official.
but like when you go to my page, you know this is my page.
Okay, good.
Yeah, because everything that he has done so far. Let me tell you, where is this thing? Okay, ambassador at Yale Young Global Scholars.
Yeah.
Commonwealth 100 leader 18th 2018 at Common Purpose Student Experiment or Experiment, right? Ambassador at Yale Young African Scholars. Head of School Outreach Coordinator at Organization of Africa. Event planning at Hillsong United, where he volunteered. He's even volunteering. You people need to hear that. Volunteer. Because Sierra Leone people, if you're not getting money, you're not volunteering. He is volunteering.
For Hillsong Church, it's one of my favorite and one of the best thing I've ever done, because like imagine you watching a gospel music, like one of the top gospel group singers in the world, and then eventually the way I get to know the church is very common. Like I met a friend when I just came in, like we met at a pitching event, so we pitched our project, and after that everybody just exchanged our contact, and then the following Sunday he called me and he was like, "Hey Francis, what are you doing today?" I'm like, "I'm just homeboying," and then he said, "Okay, well, I'm going to church. After church I'm gonna call." I was like, "Hey man, which church are you going to?" I said,
Let me come.
yeah, I said maybe I can come, and then we went to church, and then I didn't know this was this church, but like when I got there, the songs and all, and then I asked, "What is the name of the Sunday?" They were like, "Hillsong United." I'm like, whoa.
See?
No.
Sometimes you gotta go to church.
Like,
That's what he's trying to tell you. Go to church,
yeah,
honey.
like,
God just laid that right there for. And he also is cinematography at Pocket TV, former partner at FM World US and Global Distribution Business, self-employed. So you better get this now. So that's him. You will see it's a lot. Okay, I don't even have that much on there.
My resume does not even look like that.
No. It doesn't matter. I don't have a resume like
that's
that.
my Facebook
Seriously.
page.
It does not
yeah.
even look like that.
No,
So-
my page is just very lovely girl from that's it. So anyway, we're gonna round this up. Any last word from you? What do you want people to know, and what do you need?
Or like for like motivating or telling talking to my fellow, what is
In general.
In general.
What I'm gonna say is like just keep doing what you're doing. You understand? As for me, the way you're making it so big, like in my ears, like this is what I'm doing. I'm like, oh, this is not enough.
You're the first person.
Yeah, I'm not enough. Yeah, because like I don't focus on the position. I just focus on okay. It's just like when you have a tons of tasks to do, and then whenever you finish something, and then you take it. And then that is just what I'm doing. So like, just to keep doing your thing and all, and then focus, and then have a purpose. If you don't know where you're going, then you can lose the brake and then you lose the speed. But like if you know where you're going, you can lose the brake and then still have the speed of going. Yeah, that's it.
Tell the people what really you want.
What do you want?
What do you need from the people?
Yes.
Well, like
At
what
this
I'm
point.
currently, well, like I had this project, I have this project that I'm currently working on, and I had a lot of tours that I have to do right now, like to go to Austin, Texas, and then some other companies that I have to meet because like I've never saw the 3D printer of itself, but like I know it's working, and I do a lot of research, and then so like I need to go on the ground, I need to go to this company, and then I need to partner with them because like I need a lot of cash, but you understand what I'm saying, so I can push what I'm doing.
Right.
Because without money, you can still have the idea, and then it can become idea for a lot of years. You can still keep on pushing the idea.
Right.
Money is just fun and everything.
Right.
Yeah. So that's the major thing.
There you go. You hear the young man. He needs money to go to all these meetings and all this. You know, he wants to meet these companies like face to face and tell them about his projects. You know, he's already selling himself. And to do all that traveling, it costs money.
Yeah.
Like I said, this is a young man. It doesn't matter how much small part you played in his success. It still means something. You know, so let's try our best through organizations wherever, like I said, we already put it, who you should contact. Contact SierraCast TV. Or if you know Jalomi or Humu personally, you can contact them as well. As for me, you can contact me personally at Noah Jane J-Con on Facebook. Or you can contact me on Sierra Leone National Youth Organization Facebook page as well. Because I actually am the moderator of that page. You know, like I said, let's be generous to this young man. He has a lot to achieve, and whatever he achieves makes Sierra Leone looks good.
Yep.
Basically, that's how I see it.
He already makes Sierra Leone look good just by being here. He's the first one.
You know, so he's already motivating himself. Let's help him achieve that dream.
Let help him be great.
Right? You know, so that's all I have to say as my last word.
Well,
thank you to everybody for listening.
Well, I want to say thank you to my guests, my two handsome young men, even though the one is older.
Yes, I am. I am older.
Anyways,
which age comes wisdom, by the way.
Right.
So you can learn a lot from me too.
Listen, not to everyone. So let's just leave that right there.
I'm talking about me, you know.
Let me tell you.
Debate me here on the stage. Okay, I'll let you speak.
Anyway, viewers, I want to say thank you so much to everyone that participated. And as you all say, I will always say this, okay? Before, people think SierraCast was an APC channel. Well, let me tell you something. We're not. We are not SLPP, nor APC, nor anything else. We are just here to make the world looks better and to share positive things, to help other people. Because when you see this young man right here doing this, another kid will want to do the same.
Right.
We want to make people feel like they are able. It doesn't matter what background you come from, where you live, whatever place you are from, you can make it happen if you put the focus, have God, and do what it takes. In the Bible, it says, God bless the hands that works.
Right.
In Africa, we tend to misinterpret when we say we're looking for blessing, and instead of us going to work and do something, we're sitting at home waiting for blessing to fall on our lap. Well, let me tell you something. It doesn't. If you read the Bible very correctly, it will tell you exactly that God blesses the hands that works. So, I want to say thank you for people that are showing up. I want to say thank you for people that are helping with this discussion. I want to say thank you for just viewing us, for following us, for giving us your time, for us to share our life with you people. It's a pleasure for me or my guests to be here at any time. We want to even be here all day long if it's possible. But I want you guys to, I'm going to have like a, I don't know how I'm going to say, like a timer thing where I'm going to say I need 100 people to go on Facebook on SierraCast. If you haven't been to SierraCast, I need 100 people to go to SierraCast and follow SierraCast. Let's try a marathon and see how great, because there's great things that SierraCast want to do for our people. But we will need you to make it happen. We don't need your money. We need your follow to make it happen for people out there. People like this. If we have the followers, the amounts. We don't need to ask people to support. We will just cut it down. But now everything we do is out of our own paycheck. It's nothing coming home or nothing from the channel. So I'm asking you guys to please learn to share, because when you share, somebody else that doesn't know us will see it and get inspired.
Right.
Go to our page, follow or share the page, like it, view it, comment. We take constructive criticism. We're looking for guests, people that have things to say, people that want to change the world and have the strength and the persistence to stick with it. It's not try and fail and then sit down somewhere, but try and fail over and over again and still stand up and make it happen. Rome wasn't built in a day. It took a long, long time. So please, I love you all for showing your support. I love you all for being there, for talking with us. I hope you guys can show support to Francis Koroma. As he said, you can go to his page. You guys can message me. My name is Humu. My name is Humu as well on Facebook, even though I have to upgrade my page. But right now it's Umu Koroma, so you can check me out as well. Even though we have the same last name, I don't even know if we're the same tribe because we have the same last name. So I've found a little brother. Okay, I want to say thank you for being here with us today, and have a wonderful weekend. See you guys. Bye. Dum.